they have decided now to pull the nanotechnology, the nano college, out of SUNY and put it back under one umbrella in Albany. It would kind of make you feel like it's not a positive story, that it's a negative, right? It just is. It's so contradicting to try to figure out what they're meaning by all of this.
Okay, they want to make it it will continue to be, based on this resolution, a destination for economic and workforce development focused on nanotechnology and the integration of chip technology in new and innovative ways.
Well, why wouldn't you just leave the nano college in Marcy? Why wouldn't you do that? And I guess I don't know enough about what the difference is. So how is that different than what they're currently doing there right now? That's a good. I think that's a good way to ask it.
Strategically grow their successful programs in engineering and nursing while strengthening their position as a premier public polytechnic and destination for economic and workforce development focused on nanotechnology and the integration of chip technology. Boy, and I'm only reading a part of that sentence.
Well, and what do you think about when you look at the fact that Wolf Speed is right there? You have the new technology and that new plant that's going to be coming to the Syracuse area, plus talk of additional things coming here in Marcy. It just seems so odd that you would move the program away from this campus, but then say no. But it's almost like we're gonna pull what's established, and then you guys start from scratch and reinvent yourselves. I just don't know what it means. We'll speak with County Executive Anthony Pacini coming up at about 7:30, 7:40 this morning. Also, we'll speak with Mayor Jackie Izzo. They had a big announcement yesterday on an agreement with the Air Force and repairs on big planes. We'll speak with the mayor and also on the SUNY Poly issue because it really does affect everybody. So that's big story number one. The other day we had the Manja Macrina fire. I believe as of right now we don't know what is the cause of that. However, the owner was on Facebook, I believe, asking if anybody saw anything suspicious because the claim there was that it was labeled arson, although we've not heard that from authorities as of yet. Yesterday, the fire in Camden. Oh my God, the DPW burned to the ground. And everything inside it, snowplows, dump trucks, tools. As you think about this, just like just like a house fire, things that you may have had for years and years that were tools that may have been used in certain projects and certain things because this is how our sewer system works or whatever. I don't know what they do in Camden necessarily, but that DPW burning to the ground had to be millions of dollars in equipment. Now, they have insurance. That's a positive. The negative here is when we spoke to Tom Hyland from Utica Mac, you remember what Tom said? They're sold out through next year, and there's a limit as to what they can get in terms of big trucks, big machinery for 2024.
Yeah.
It's just unbelievable. And we'll speak with the county executive about that as well. All of this coming at a time where Camden gets a lot of snow. It snows in Camden. And we've got some of that snow on the way with a potential winter storm coming this week. So it's going to have to be a situation where the county and nearby municipalities come together to assist the people of Camden. Wow. All right, let's keep going. Yesterday, out of nowhere, the vacant Zeb's restaurant building, located on the corner of Middle Settlement and Seneca Turnpike, caught on fire.
How?
How does that happen? Yeah.
I just don't understand. I mean,
I don't understand that either.
Right. It's not like the restaurant has been open. It's been closed for years. I don't think that every time I've driven by
it has, you say years, and it's true. It's been years since I had those unbelievable chocolate chip cookies. People would wait in line there. People would just show up at the restaurant without even going in to eat at the restaurant. I'm here for the cookies.
That's true. You want one other truth, and I'm not being negative, but I used to hear this all the time, even from my mother or a girl I was dating or whoever. Women would say, every time I go there, my hair smells like fried food for 4 days.
Oh, yeah. Apparently, the ventilation must not have been all that good.
Well,
And maybe that's why the fire started.
I don't think so. No.
Here's we are not saying that we know anything. However, it is odd that there were 2 restaurant fires in the last week.
Right on that strip
in New Hartford.
Right. Now that's not Commercial Drive. That's Seneca Turnpike.
Seneca Turnpike.
Yeah.
So Route 5. Manja Macrinas is just down the road over by the Onondagas and Seneca Liquors. And then all the way down on the other side where Middle Settlement comes across is where Zeb's is located. And, it looked like before COVID that the place was going to be purchased.
Right.
And then that all fell to pieces when restaurants were just shuttered. Although a lot of people doing delivery and that sort of thing. But I think a lot of work needs to be done at that location. And it's a prime location, right? I mean, you couldn't ask for a better spot.
I'm surprised it's been vacant for that long.
So you put all this together, and what is going on? This is a lot to handle.
Yeah, it's certainly a big news week. And then we have, of course, the cases that we talked about with the Oneida County District Attorney to add on top of that. So it has been just a wild week. You might have mentioned that and I forgot it, but
this case of the 30-year-old woman from Sequoia who had grown up in Little Falls, spent most of her life in Little Falls. They go to a hockey game sometime between, and she's at the game, we're told by the DA, with what we believe to be her boyfriend, who has been unnamed. They leave the odd, and some point between the time they leave the odd and the time they get to near Chadwick's, he in their truck is nowhere to be found, and she's out on the road, severely, tragically injured, and nobody knows anything at this point. And, of course, that happened on November 30th. Just this past weekend, she passed away. And we are still at a point where very little information is out there on this, although there is and we'll double-check on the GoFundMe, but there is a GoFundMe account that was put up. And as you can imagine, I think they were looking to raise about $15,000 to $20,000 for funeral fees and everything else that comes along with tragedies like this. And I believe as of yesterday, there were over $40,000. So
yes, the link if you'd like to donate is on our website. But yeah, it was over $40,000 in 2 days that was raised.
Last night, I watched some of this because Howard Potter was sending out messages about the Utica School Board meeting that occurred last night. There was reference to the lawsuit against the school board. A few resolutions were passed, which will represent those people who were named in the lawsuit. But the acting superintendent gave a bit of a presentation in his report, and it, I feel, was blistering in regards to the current superintendent who's on paid administrative leave, Bruce Karam, talking about the fact that so many organizations had reached out to work with the school. Mohawk Valley Community College. He claims that the college had reached out to Bruce Karam with programs and with money, opportunities of grants, and that they claim that the superintendent at the time said he was too busy or that the school was too busy. The Community Foundation, the same thing, et cetera, et cetera. It almost seems as if the accusation was being made that Mr. Karam left a ton of money that would have gone towards students and programs, left a ton of money on the table and did nothing with it.
Oh, interesting. I didn't know
Some
about
pretty
that.
strong accusations made yesterday. And then there were a few board members, or I should say a few public people from the public who spoke. That stuff doesn't make it to the feed, but Howard Potter, I think, recorded the whole thing, so I got to watch a few of those. Those were blistering, attacking the board members who, at this point, are supporting Bruce Karam. So a very interesting dynamic at the Utica School District. So that's where we are with everything going on. Also this morning, we'll speak with Congressman-elect Brandon Williams. This will be the first time since the election scene in which he walked away a winner. Of course, we talked to him after he won, but we'll get his take on what's going on in Albany and what's going on with SUNY Poly and everything else as we'll be heading into a new House of Representatives controlled by Republicans.
He's done the orientation in Congress. I believe that's he's done that since we've spoken with him. Maybe he can translate this. Governor Hochul's transformative vision for SUNY includes the empowerment of and investment in SUNY Poly Utica to strategically grow their successful programs in engineering and nursing while strengthening their position as a premier public polytechnic and destination for economic and workforce development, focused on nanotechnology and the integration of chip technology in new and innovative ways, including the needs of the Air Force Research Lab.
It's like if you're at Syracuse and you're like, all right, we're going to take the Newhouse program. So journalism, radio and television, all of that, the entire Newhouse program, we're going to pull it from Syracuse. And then we're going to let Syracuse really focus in on creating a program for journalism and radio and television. Kind of like the same thing, right? You took the college away. Now you want them to rebuild it? I just do not understand.
Maybe we could get the vice president to explain it. She would say something like, well, you have one college that's a bigger college, and then you have another college that's a smaller college, and then the big college tries to overtake the smaller college, and that's not a good thing.
But it does seem to be at the end exactly what they're doing.
Yeah.
We'll break. Manaski will update the news. A big news day today. Normally in December, things tend to be a little bit on the quiet side. We are not experiencing that here at the end of 2022. 635 at WIBX.
Hi, I'm Oneida County Executive Anthony Pacenti. Do you have unused or expired medicine in your home? Any medication can be harmful if misused or accidentally taken by a child or pet. Let us help you safely dispose all your unused medicines with easy-to-use medication deactivation bags that can be thrown away in your home trash. While supplies last, get 2 free medication disposal bags mailed directly to your home by going to ocopioidtaskforce.org. There is a limited supply. When they are gone, they're gone.
Go to ocopioidtaskforce.org.
Nacho fries are back at Taco Bell. You know, the fries covered in bold Mexican spices you dip in a warm nacho cheese sauce. You could also dunk them in nacho cheese sauce or pour the sauce onto a pile of them and create like a nacho fries nachos. The thing is that you eat them with nacho cheese sauce. That's what makes them nacho fries. Otherwise, you're just eating fries and sipping on nacho cheese sauce, and that's the wrong way. Sorry, just really passionate about nacho fries.
Nacho fries are back, only at Taco Bell. At participating U.S. Taco Bell locations for a limited time only while supplies last. Contact local store for hours and participation which vary.
WIBX News Time 6:36. This update brought to you by the law offices of William Mattar. Hurt in a car, call William Mattar. Lawmakers in Washington reaching a deal on a framework for an omnibus package to fund the federal government through 2023. Senate Appropriations Committee Chairman Patrick Leahy of Vermont said on Tuesday night the House and Senate negotiators have reached a bipartisan framework that can pass both houses of Congress and be signed by the president. The House is expected to pass a stopgap spending bill today to keep the government running through December 23rd and then pass the omnibus bill. The House Select Committee investigating last year's attack on the U.S. Capitol is winding down its first public meetings. Chairman Benny Thompson said the January 6th panel will hold its final session next Monday, December 19th. The committee plans to vote on criminal referrals that could include former President Trump Its final report is set to be released on December 21st. The Sandy Hook school massacre happened 10 years ago today. A man walked into Sandy Hook Elementary School in Newtown, Connecticut, and opened fire, killing 20 children and 6 adults. Then President Barack Obama addressed a grieving nation that December 14th, saying he knows there's not a parent in America who doesn't feel the same overwhelming grief that he did. Disgraced young crypto king Sam Bankman-Fried is in jail in the Bahamas after learning of the charges filed against him in the U.S. Federal prosecutors in New York say that the former CEO of FTX stole billions of dollars from customers since 2019 and up until the company collapsed. He faces 8 charges, including conspiracy to commit wire fraud on customers and conspiracy to commit money laundering. He faces 115 years in prison if convicted on all counts.
Just 115.
That's all.
Okay.
Several fire crews battled a blaze at the Camden DPW building. Photos and video submitted by listeners on our website at WIBX950.com. Fire companies from Camden, Florence, McConnellsville, Cleveland, Sylvan Beach, and Leaf Center all battled that blaze on Tuesday morning, but the DPW garage and several pieces of equipment were destroyed. The former Zeb's restaurant on the corner of Seneca Turnpike in New Hartford caught fire last night. Crews called to the scene after 9 p.m. That cause is still being investigated. And the SUNY Poly Board of Trustees voting to remerge the SUNY Poly campuses in Albany and Utica. I have the statement here. Your understanding of this, though, is essentially, I mean, we're waiting for answers, but
yeah. The campus will go nowhere. The college will remain there. SUNY Poly, SUNY Tech, whatever. Do we change it? Do we continue to call it SUNY Poly? We don't know. There's a new officer in charge. There's still no president of the college, but the plan is to take that Nano College program and move it back to Albany to join the other Nano College program that is currently there.
We'll talk.
Does that make any sense? I believe that's what they're.
Well, in conjunction with this statement, yes and no. I
know.
We'll hope that the county executive can share some news with us this morning. He's scheduled to join us in a little bit later on in the program, and some understanding as to what this means for our area and the programs here and the opportunity here. WIBX News Time 640. Your Weather Center forecast does have a weather advisory in place, one that could bring several inches of snow to the area. We have sunshine on tap for today, a high reaching 31 degrees. Mostly cloudy skies overnight tonight, and a low falling back into the middle teens. And then from Thursday through Saturday, we do have a winter storm watch in effect. Thursday, snow showers likely mainly after 5 p.m., mostly cloudy and a high of 35. It says Thursday night, expecting less than a half inch of snow accumulation. Overnight, Thursday into Friday, we could see 4 to 5 inches of new snow. Snow showers continue on Friday, a high of 36, and snow shower chances on Saturday as well. And again, that winter storm watch is in effect from 1 o'clock on Thursday through Saturday. Total snow accumulations of 7 to 15 inches possible for northern and southern Oneida County, Otsego, Delaware, and Sullivan counties as well. We'll keep an eye up on that and continue to update you as to that storm's progress.
Well, it is, when we decide to see the weather turn around here, it turns pretty quickly, right? It seems like just yesterday we were in the 50s. And
so like 2 weeks ago, right?
And all of a sudden now we're getting all sorts of snow activity. All right. Well, it is Central New York. It is wintertime. Davey, how was that national championship soccer game that you watched on the big screen on Monday night? You okay in there, man?
No, I got a problem with my ear. I can only hear out of one side.
Oh, okay. All right, cool. Well, turn the side that I'm talking toward. There you go. Talk. How was the game, Davey?
Oh, it was good.
And then Syracuse played Monmouth, which is basically a nobody, right? And they played like they have played most nobodies.
You were a starting center for Monmouth one time, weren't you?
I believe. You talking to me?
No, either one of you.
I think it'd be better if you said that to me. All right, we'll break and come
Big
back
game
here.
against Cornell on Saturday for Syracuse.
That'll be listen. It's a great deal of history, right? 6:42. We'll come back and talk about all of this. You want to pipe in on it? I remember saying, do you think that Kathy Hochul will, now that the election is over, that she'll focus a little more on upstate and this craziness will go away? Well, I guess she is focusing on upstate. Maybe we'd be better off if she didn't focus on upstate. We'll talk about it. You want to pipe in 315-736-0186, 643 at WIBX.
Go green and save green right now at City Suburban. There has never been a better way to heat and cool your home than with a new heat pump system from City Suburban. They provide energy-efficient comfort year-round, offer room-by-room temperature control, and are 40% more efficient than conventional systems. And the best part is right now, you can save up to $9,000 in rebates with the New York State Clean Heat Program. Go green and make the switch today. And as always, receive City Suburban POMG. That's peace of mind guaranteed.
This is Chris from City Suburban on Route 233 in Westmoreland. There's never been a better time to upgrade your system than right now. You can save up to $9,000 in rebates, make your home more energy efficient for years to come, and as always, receive our 100% POMG. That's peace of mind guaranteed. Take advantage of this amazing offer. Call us today at 853-3899. That's 853-3899. Or visit us at citysuburban.com.
The wonder of youth was still very much a part of your life when you nervously got on one knee to ask one of the most important questions and anxiously waited for the answer.
Yes, of course, yes.
This is Sarah from Engelbert's Jewelers. You started your forever together with Engelbert's, and because we have jewelry that fits every occasion and every budget, you have included us in many of life's milestones and celebrations. From Mother's Day to anniversaries, graduations, and numerous holidays.
Yes, of course, yes.
You started your forever together with Engelbert's Jewelers. We have jewelry that fits every occasion and every budget. Celebrate all those years of holidays together. Feel great with affordable elegance from Engelbert's Jewelers.
WIBX 950 and 106.9 FM. This is Keeler.
Yes, good morning, good morning. Good morning, good morning. Say, Jeff, look into the camera and say good morning. I got to turn your mic on. Try it again. Good morning. Sorry about that. I want to tell you that we're going to have, Davey, something really special this morning. The people at Artisanal Cheese and Hemstraats are going to be in studio this morning.
Okay.
And usually when they come in, they usually bring, some stuff.
Goodies.
Thank you. And if you're thinking about goodies for the upcoming holiday, an upcoming holiday dinner, a little splash you're having at your house, maybe it's New Year's, Christmas, Hanukkah, whatever it is, they're ready to handle your needs at Hemstraats and Artisanal Cheese with something that they call the Weekender. This is an option that is there's a box filled with artisanal cheeses, cured meats, breads, pastries, half moons in all different sizes. You can order online, pick it up, have it delivered to your home or to anywhere. Maybe you pick it up and you take it with you to the little event that you're going to, the party you're going to. Maybe it's a charcuterie platter that you're interested in creating. They have everything, including the very amazing, unique cheeses that are imported from around the world. These are not grocery store cheeses. This is something really, really special. They have amazing breads, and the list goes on. It's located right there at 900 Oswego Street, right off the arterial. 7 days a week, they are open or online, always at hemstrats.com. Manasseh has his head in the computer book, trying to figure out what all of this means. This is information about the state claiming that the Nano College is going to be under one roof now, moving back to where it belongs in Albany. It's kind of the way this was presented yesterday on Twitter. Pacini got a hold of it and had a blistering response saying, I can't believe that one neighboring community, one region would attack another region, or basically, I forget how he worded it, but relish in the fact that a neighboring region was losing something and they were gaining it. Just not the way you normally do business. And quickly, by the way, that tweet from the Albany region was taken down.
Well, and he said as well, I thought was interesting, to an area that didn't even include, did not
have, to a county executive that in his budget didn't even mention nanotechnology.
So a couple comments here. Josiah in Whitesboro, I'm not aware of anything. He's asking, are we aware of a power outage or issue in Whitesboro? He's having some trouble with water in Whitesboro. He said he had no pressure.
Water?
Yeah, and now it's brown coming out of his tap. So,
oh, boy.
I don't see anything on the Mohawk Valley Water Authority website. While I was there, I did see the note about there was an interruption in service for those in New Hartford by Zeb's, but that was during the fire that was being fought. He's not near there. Bob in Canastota says, I can't help but wonder if someone in Albany wanted the Micron plant for the Albany area, and SUNY Poly's move is the price for Syracuse to have Micron.
Well, why would you want the program to move further away? And I get it. We're a very mobile society today. But the fact that you could go to school and specialize in nanotechnology on a campus where there is world-renowned nanotechnology being performed and manufactured, doesn't that have a benefit? And I realize they're doing that work out in Albany as well, but why take it away from what has been? It makes no sense. That you would disrupt what is already being done and done so successfully right now. It's just shocking to me.
I did see an article. I'll just quickly mention that there was some concern, or at least a belief among some, that Albany missed out on a chance for a chip fab because of the fact that the campus was split.
Ann this morning. Ann in Rome. Davey, she's on. I think she's trying to take your job. I'm just going to let you know right now.
Why?
I just think she's trying to take your job.
Okay.
She said a listener just called me, wants to know when Pasini's going to be on. And I just let her know that'll be 7:40. You know, they're calling her now, Davey. They're not calling you. Normally, it used to be, Davey, they'd call you and say, when's Pasini going to be on?
They can call me.
But no, they're calling Ann in Rome. Thank you, Ann. I'm calling her Miss Producer Ann. I don't know, Davey. I don't know.
Make sure you answer with the good ear, though.
She's gunning. That's right. Maybe she's trying to help you out because you can't hear out of one ear. She's gunning for you. That's all I'm saying. Any other comments you have there? Because I got some stuff to move on with.
And I'll just quickly throw this out there. I was looking for an explanation on the SUNY Poly News, and I just found out at the Times Union website that John Hinckley, as in the guy who shot Reagan, was scheduled to perform a concert in Albany, but he's canceled it, or he's at least moved the date. Can you believe that?
I have to tell you something. I had that brought a great deal of controversy. But I had someone reach out to me and ask if we wanted to bring him in, like we brought in Gallagher, like years ago I brought in John Wayne Bobbitt. And I'm like, are you kidding me? This is the guy that went after one of the greatest presidents of all time. And we're in Republican country up here. Could you imagine bringing him in?
Look, if
and why do I want to listen to his music anyway?
Yeah, what is he good at?
I don't know.
And here's the other thing. To the point about maybe bringing him in here, I could see it if he wanted to talk about it. But everything I see on him is, no, we're not going to talk about the past.
He's like Jimmy J.J. Walker. I don't say dynamite, okay? I'm a new person. I'm not going back to the old days.
That was incarcerated me. Yeah. This is the new me.
Davey.
Here's why the water pressure is low in Whitesboro.
Thank you, buddy.
And he's I got to tell you, he's going to outperform you right now.
Listener just called in and said there's a water main break in front of Holland Farms.
Gotcha. Thank you, buddy.
Okay.
And thank you for that info.
That would cause
and
a problem.
There's a power outage in East Utica.
All right, Davey, anything else? Because information comes in threes. You've given us 2 items. What's the third piece?
Nothing.
His ear is plugged.
Okay, his ear is plugged. Last night, Utica School Board Here is how the board addressed the issue of the lawsuit from Bruce Karam. Here we go.
So I'd like to make a motion that we go out of order.
Need a second? I'll second. Any discussion? All in favor?
It's coming right up. I
Opposed?
tried to cue it up and apparently failed miserably.
The members of the Board of Education have been made aware that Superintendent Bruce Karam has commenced a legal proceeding, the petition, against the district and 4 of its board members and the acting superintendent. The school district and certain board members and the acting superintendent have been named as respondents in the case. But at the time of this writing of this statement, it hadn't been served. It was served tonight. As indicated in the petition papers filed with the court,
that was a controversy too, because and actually some members of the public criticized that. So what happened is, just as the choir was getting up to sing, because every board meeting they bring in students and they display their talents and that sort of thing. Just as the students were getting ready to sing, it got interrupted, and the attorney came in and served everybody. So there was criticism there. I can't believe
everybody.
I can't believe you would interrupt the students to do such a thing.
Apparently, from what he's saying, not everybody. It's 4 board members, right?
Correct. There are 4 board members, including the president. That would be Hobaika. But also 4 board members plus the acting superintendent were named in the lawsuit.
But other board members are left off the suit?
Well, Cardillo, Testa, and the other guy are basically the 3 who are supporting. They're voting no on anything to investigate Bruce Karam. They feel that Bruce Karam should not be on paid administrative leave. If I'm Bruce Karam, I'd be like, it's paid administrative leave? I call that a vacation. I mean, take advantage of that.
Do you mind filing a complaint down the hall before you leave today?
That's right. On both of us.
Against
Don't
who?
just
You?
Yeah, both of us. Come on. Here's more from
high-level district administrators who were directly supervised by Mr. Karam filed complaints against Mr. Karam for alleged misconduct. These complaints were presented to Mr. Karam, and after receiving the complaints, Mr. Karam appointed Mark Pettit to be a special investigator to investigate the complaints made against him. The majority of the board concluded that placing Mr. Karam on paid administrative leave pending the completion of the investigation was in the best interest of the district and Mr. Karam. Placing Mr. Karam on paid leave was done to protect the integrity of the investigation and to reduce the likelihood of claims of retaliation by the complainants or interference with the witnesses involved in the investigation. Mr. Pettit is actively conducting an investigation into the complaints against Mr. Karam made by the 2 administrators. Unfortunately, while Mr. Pettit was able to interview several employees as part of this investigation, Mr. Pettit had experienced difficulty coordinating the interview of Mr. Karam, which is why that interview has not yet taken place. The Board of Education has not commenced any charges against Mr. Karam. Again, the complaints against Mr. Karam being investigated by Mr. Pettit came from 2 administrators. The majority.
So that's so I guess I didn't realize that there were 2 administrators who made the complaint against Bruce Karam.
Yeah, I didn't know that either.
So, and at this point, it's going to be very interesting to see what comes out of all of it. But you do have 3 board members who basically seem to be supporting Karam, and then 4 who have voted to support him in a different way, and that is by putting him on administrative leave.
So I think Don Dawes was the...
Don Dawes is the other guy, yes.
Yeah, so
he's a very dynamic man, and I apologize for not remembering.
The 4 was the 4 would be Hobaika, Danielle Padula, Tennille Knoop, and James Paul.
Yes.
Okay.
So they now have the majority on the board. And believe me, last night watching it, I swear to God, every time a resolution would be introduced and then there'd be a roll call vote, it would be the same thing. The 3 would vote no, including Cardillo, who's running for mayor. He's got to be careful here, I think. And then the other 4 would vote yes, and then Hobeika Joe would get into the mic and say, "It is passed 4-3 once again." I swear it was more entertaining than what was that? The Voice that was on last night, the finale of The Voice, which they dragged on for 3 hours. It seemed yesterday.
It was more entertaining than the Tony Picenti Twitter fights.
It was definitely more entertaining than all of that. Okay, so just to review here, we have a lot to get to. I'll play some more. There was one member of the public that I thought really gave a blistering tongue lashing to some of the members of the board. I'll try to find that. Howard Potter's feeding all of this stuff out. He's another one of the people who now works for the radio station, out there doing the work of an investigative reporter on this whole thing. He's been fixated on the school board for quite some time. Okay, we're going to get into the fire at Zeb's. We'll tell you what we know. We'll get into the horrific fire that occurred over at the DPW in Camden. We'll tell you what we know, and we'll speak to the county executive about that. Tony Picenti will be in studio to talk about the confusion that is coming out of Albany regarding SUNY Poly and the Nanotech College program. What all of this means and what they are intending to do with SUNY Poly in Marcy, what they basically are instructing that should be done is very confusing to me. And hopefully the county executive can explain all of that. And then there's more to deal with here this morning. A winter storm possible. It is a winter storm watch right now. We'll give you the latest weather forecast coming up to see what Thursday, Friday, and even into Saturday will look like. It seems that there's snow on the way. We'll get to it all coming up.
From the Stanley Theater Studio, WIBX 950 Utica Rome, W295DI Utica Rome, your news, talk, and sports leader, a Town Square media station.
Parts of the South twisted apart. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News.
Just pray for us and help these people that without a home so we can get them back in a home as quick as we can.
John Crow is the mayor of Farmerville, Louisiana, where dozens of people are injured after a tornado destroyed an apartment complex, tossed mobile homes several hundred feet. In Keithville, 2 people were killed, including a child. There's also tornado damage in Texas. Peyton Yeager with Fox 4 TV is in Grapevine.
People say that the tornado only lasted a few minutes, and according to the city, it spanned several miles. 5 people were injured, but thankfully, none of those injuries were life-threatening.
Oklahoma also got hit. A tornado badly damaged the town of Wayne. Trying to avert a government shutdown this weekend, the House is expected to pass short-term funding today, hoping to pass a spending bill next week for the rest of the fiscal year. A convicted killer is supposed to die today in Mississippi.
Thomas Loden Jr. is set for a lethal injection this evening for kidnapping, raping, and strangling 16-year-old Lisa Gray in June of 2000. Loden's would be the 17th and last execution of 2022.
Fox's Jack Callahan. In Oregon, Governor Kate Brown, a Democrat, is using her executive powers to commute the sentences for all 17 people on death row there to life without parole. She also ordered Oregon's death chamber be dismantled. It's a somber morning in Newtown, Connecticut, 10 years to the day after the massacre at Sandy Hook Elementary School. 20 first graders, 6 adults murdered.
20-year-old Adam Lanza killed his mother at their home on the morning of December 14th, 2012, before going to Sandy Hook, where he shot his way inside the school. He fired 154 rounds in less than 5 minutes before turning the gun on himself.
Fox's Tanya J. Powers. That shooting led to stricter gun laws in several states, and controversial talk show host Alex Jones was court-ordered to pay some families over $1 billion damages for claiming for years the massacre was a hoax. America's listening to Fox News.
Testosterone levels are at an all-time low. Individual T levels decline 1% every year. Chalk, CHOQ, is the new champion of natural testosterone boosters. Chalk's main ingredient is clinically studied to naturally boost testosterone 20% in 90 days. Supercharge your masculinity and boost your daily energy with Chalk's Male Vitality Stack. For a limited time, our listeners will get 30% off at CHOQ.com with promo code USA. CHOQ.com, code USA.
Dell Technologies' Days of Deals for Business start now with fresh, limited quantity deals on tech to drive productivity. Save on select performance laptops and desktops powered by 12th Gen Intel Core processors. Don't forget special pricing on the latest monitors, docks, and accessories, plus free shipping on everything, and special financing with Dell Business Credit. Call a Dell Technologies advisor at 877-ASK-DELL. That's 877-ASK-DELL.
Mostly clear skies, 17 degrees. Good morning, I'm Jeff Manaski. WIBX News Time is 7:03. This news update is brought to you by Clinton Tractor, the leader in service. Visit them today at clintontractor.net. The College of Nanoscale Science and Engineering is rejoining the university at Albany. The SUNY Board of Trustees voting unanimously to reunify the two. What that means for the SUNY Poly campus and programs at Marcy is still up in the air. We'll talk with Oneida County Executive Anthony Pacenti about what that means going forward. He's scheduled to join us here at 7:40. Several fire crews battled a blaze at the Camden DPW building. Photos and video on our website of the impressive fire, as one onlooker called it, on our website, WIBX950.com. The fire was being fought by fire companies from Camden, Florence, McConnellsville, Cleveland, Sylvan Beach, and Lee Center. That DPW garage in Camden and several pieces of equipment were destroyed. The cause still under investigation. The former Zeb's restaurant on the corner of Seneca Turnpike in New Hartford caught fire last night. Fire crews called to that scene after 9 p.m. The cause there still under investigation. New Hartford police still investigating how a 30-year-old Little Falls woman became so badly injured she died after being hospitalized for more than a week. Martha Staring was found seriously injured lying in the road on Elm Street on the night of November 30th. At this time, police have not shared theories as to how she was injured. Meanwhile, a GoFundMe page has been established to help her family with medical and funeral costs. After 2 days, that page had raised over $40,000. And we've told you about gift cards in New York State and what that means for you, the consumer. They are now valid for at least 9 years. Gone are the days of gift cards and certificates that only last a year or two, as well as dormancy fees and reloading fees. Full details on the new laws governing gift cards and gift certificates in New York, along with the cash back option on our website at WIBX950.com. Your Weather Center forecast has a winter storm watch in effect from Thursday afternoon through Saturday morning. Heavy snow and mixed precipitation possible with 7 to 15 inches of accumulation possible. That's for northern and southern Oneida counties, Otsego, Delaware, and Sullivan counties. For today, mostly sunny skies, a high reaching 31 degrees. It'll be mostly cloudy through the overnight tonight. We'll have an overnight low falling into the mid-teens. Chance of snow showers on Thursday. That will begin in the afternoon. Otherwise, mostly cloudy skies and a high of 34. It's clear right now, 16 degrees. WIBX News Time is 7:06.
All right, so let's see, where do we begin? There's just a lot of stuff going on in sports. The Devils, let's start in the NHL. New Jersey Devils dropped their third game in a row. They've lost their last 3 games. They fell to the Dallas Stars in Newark by a score of 4-1. Tomorrow night, the Rangers host the Maple Leafs. The Knicks will visit the Bulls tonight. And a little football news here for you. The Giants are clinging to the final playoff spot in the NFC as they prepare for week number 15. Will your New York Giants make it into the playoffs?
No.
At 7-5-1, the G-Men are tied with the Washington Commanders for third in the NFC East. New York will be looking to break that tie when it visits Washington for Sunday night football. That will be a big game. The Jets made a pair of roster moves on Tuesday. Gang Green signed defensive lineman Marcus Spencer and placed linebacker Marcel Harris on the practice squad, injured reserve. And the World Cup. So we know that Argentina has moved on, and now you're looking at what? This is France and Croatia. No, Argentina defeated Croatia. Sorry.
France and Morocco.
France and Morocco being the underdog in this battle, will determine the final for the World Cup. This Lionel Messi is unbelievable.
He's incredible. It's amazing what he does. They say sometimes in Madden and in football games, it looks like they're playing a video game, and this is a guy who looks like he's playing a video game. His ball control is incredible. He makes defenders look foolish, and he did so again yesterday on a world stage. It's really impressive.
One more that I missed is the score of the Buffalo game. Buffalo Sabres cruised to a 6-0 win over the L.A. Kings in Buffalo.
They scored 6 goals in one period. Smitty, they even scored 6 goals in a month, the Sabres, sometimes. I feel like they go a whole month without 6 goals. They got it one period.
They had one player the other night score 4 goals in just one period.
You mentioned this GoFundMe page, and if you were to search Martha Staring, Staring, GoFundMe, it started out, they were looking to raise about $20,000. The goal was $20,000 for funeral expenses and memorial service expenses for the family. It is now they're now at $42,247. It shows you how that community has stood up for this family, and it's a lot of $25, $50 donations, $100 donations, but there's an anonymous $5,000 donation that was made. Pretty impressive, horrifically sad what occurred there back on November 30th, and here we are moving into the middle of the month of December. And we still do not know what happened in that case. Terrible. This hour, we're going to talk with County Executive Anthony Pacini. I'll also tell you what happened to the Mack truck. It's a kid's Mack truck, battery operated, and the New Holland tractor. It's a kid's New Holland tractor, battery operated, all donated to Toys for Tots. Well, we auctioned them off. They were sold yesterday, and we'll give you the details on who gets what coming up and how money was raised for the Toys for Tots program. It's 7:09 at WIBX.
The holiday program of a small Texas town spins hilariously out of control when one mishap after another keeps the entire production off balance, resulting in a laugh-filled play you won't forget. For 2 weekends only, December 9th through the 18th, Players of Utica presents Christmas Bells, a fast-paced Southern-flavored comedy directed by Stephen Wagner. It's not easy for the citizens of Faro, Texas to put on their annual Christmas show when they have to deal with feuding directors, a convict bent on revenge, hot flashes, food poisoning, kidney stones, a huge family secret, and a reluctant Elvis impersonator. It's all in good fun and is sure to put you in a holly jolly holiday mood. That's December 9th, 10th, 11th, 16th, 17th, and 18th with matinees for Sunday performances. Get your tickets for Christmas Bells at playersofutica.org or call 315-724-7624 today. Senior and student tickets are available with proper ID at both the evening and matinee performances.
I never write reviews, but Navage is so amazing I had to leave one. Nothing's ever cleared out my sinuses as well. I'm blown away by how Navage works. That's a review from Carrie, and it's one of over 100,000 online testimonials praising Navage. I'm Martin Hoke, the inventor of Navage Nasal Care, and I've talked about flushing out allergens, viruses, mucus, and germs, how Navage's powered suction can help you breathe better, and how your nose is the body's air filter, and Navage will clean it out. But don't take my word for it. What do people like Chad say, who wrote, Navage has helped clear out my nasal passages every single night. My wife says my snoring has gone way down. Snorefest be gone, unquote. Navage is the all-natural solution trusted by over 3 million customers to help you breathe better, sleep deeper, snore less, and stay healthier without drugs. Navage is available at Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Bed Bath, Target, and online. Navage, N-A-V-A-G-E. Clean nose, healthy life.
It's the season of giving at Steve Ponte Chevrolet, giving you great deals on new Chevy trucks. How's this for giving? A brand new 2023 Chevy Equinox LT all-wheel drive with confidence and convenience package. 3-year, 30,000-mile lease for just $457 a month. Or how about a 2023 Silverado half-ton crew cab LT 4-wheel drive all-star edition. 3-year, 30,000-mile lease at just $557 a month. Steve Ponte Chevy giving you great deals deals and giving their customers the best buying experience all year long. Steve Piney Chevrolet. Find new roads at your locally owned and operated dealership. Route 28 in Herkimer or online at steveponeychevy.com. See why it's always easy to do business at Steve Piney Chevrolet. Customer must qualify top-tier credit with GM Financial. 25 cents per mile mileage penalty over 30,000 miles. All taxes, fees, first payment due on delivery. Must have current lease in household and take delivery by 12/31/2022.
River Hills Properties is the fastest growing real estate company in the area and in the region and here in upstate New York. Why? Because of everything that they do. It's the services they provide. For people like us who are selling our home, I'd never sold a house before. It's happened like 5 or 6 years ago. And you're in that position where you want someone to guide you and you want someone there at your home. And we had a little sticking point. For us, it was, we want to make sure there's someone at the house every time the house is shown. And the only real estate agency that would do that for us was River Hills. And we later found out that for River Hills, that's just the way they do business. It's the Bill and Robin Monjo way of selling homes, taking care of the customer 110% from start to finish. And that's exactly what they do. They also do a really good job of lowering the stress level. And we all know that selling a home can be filled with all sorts of stress. So if 2023 means for you, it's time to sell a home, sell a property, sit down with Bill and Robin Monjo at River Hills Properties and see the difference in how they provide services to people selling homes. How that actually makes it easier for somebody to buy a house. That's the River Hills way. Reach out today. Nobody sells homes like River Hills Properties. In Barneville, Little Falls, and Utica. Online, it's riverhillspropertiesllc.com.
WIBX 950 and 106.9 FM. This is Keeler.
Good morning. And it is, I just want to go over what we have going on this morning. It's one of those bomb cyclone weather, that with all these fronts coming in at the same time, attacking an area, weather in a weather way, and a weather-wise, a weather way. We're talking about news. It's just so much going on, from fires to big news out of Albany regarding SUNY Poly. County executive will be on in just a few minutes. We'll talk about that. That fire that we're talking about, there have been 3 in the last few days, 2 at restaurants. That's interesting. And then, of course, this bad fire at the Camden DPW, where they lost everything. Equipment, gone. While there's insurance, we're in the middle of a supply problem. They're going to have to be in a position where they're buying used, because you just can't get these new trucks anymore.
There's a delay. I mean, you can get them, but it'll take you a while to get them.
It'll take you
go
a
on
while.
a waiting list.
Yeah.
So wish them the best of luck, but there's probably going to be, I know this is something, and not to gray the area or whatever, but Pasani's always looking for shared services, and it looks like it's going to be forced here because if their plow vehicles are destroyed, they can't plow the roads. So a neighboring municipality is going to have to help out at some level.
And the county. So we'll speak with Tony on that as well. And then yesterday we've talked about the Manja Macrina fire in New Hartford. And the owners claiming that was arson. But beyond that, yesterday, the vacant Zeb's restaurant caught on fire. What is going on here? And we'll get into all of this here as we move through the morning. We mentioned Toys for Tots and the program that's been around since 1947 with the U.S. Marines. It's something that is a long-running program that does such great things for families and for children. So we had the Oneida County Sheriff's Law Enforcement Foundation, Sheriff Maciel, and Clinton Tractor donate a New Holland tractor. It's a battery-operated kids tractor that goes about 4 or 5 miles an hour. It was sold to Karen for $650. I'm sorry, it was sold to John Ammerman for $525 yesterday. We thank John and everybody else who bid on the item. Karen, on the other side, bid on the Utica Mack truck, which was donated by Tom and everybody over at Utica Mack. So she gave $650, and then Utica Mack gave another $250. So We raised $900 on that. All of it goes to Toys for Tots. Every toy stays local.
Yes, and thank you again to Karen. I had a chance to meet Karen yesterday, and John will be stopping by today or tomorrow to pick that up. So, and
They're
I'll
not
be here to
fooling around.
assist.
They're not fooling around. You know why? Because these are great gifts for the holidays. In fact, I got to tell you that that Mack truck, I'm pretty sure I could fit in that thing. And based on the tires that I have in my vehicle right now, they're balding a bit. I might be able to do better negotiating the snow on the road, to be honest with you. And we also will be getting an update from New York Sash on the number of teddy bears that came in with the Utica University Pioneers Teddy Bear Toss with New York Sash. We'll get an update on that coming up.
Just a quick shout out to Wayne and Jax. The Utica Academy of Science fourth graders won their first game last night. They defeated CVA. Coach Brown got his first win, 25-16 the final. So good morning and nice job to the team there and to Jax, who is listening with Wayne this morning. Good morning, guys. You mentioned great. Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was going to say you mentioned great holiday gifts, and I'm salivating over here.
We're gonna get there, Dan. We're coming to you. Stand by because there's some great stuff happening here in studio. Michael, some comments. I hear Brandon Williams is going to be on next hour with us. When he goes to Washington, will be no man to truffle with. I mean, trifle.
Sorry.
Owns the truffle farm. Elaine, Dan from Hemstratz is here. Are you going to bring him in? Why, of course we are. And this is interesting. Julie, is Assemblywoman Buttonshaw not available? Even though SUNY Poly is in the county, it's a state school. Not only does Buttonshaw have a background in education, she is the state representative and lives in Marcy. I don't know why Paseni is the guest here. Where is Mrs. Buttonshaw?
I'll reach out. We can probably get her at the end of the 8 o'clock hour.
We should. I think that's a very good point. And Ann from Rome, yes, I'm coming after Davy's job. I don't know, Davy. She's coming hard at you. More confusion coming out of Albany. She says this is another reason I call her Governor Hot Mess. Okay? That's Ann in Rome. And Dan is in here this morning with Hemstratz and artisanal cheese. And good morning, Dan. Pull that mic nice and close. You brought some really cool items that I see here this morning. Good morning.
Good morning, Bill. Jeff, it's always great to be with you folks.
It's always great to have you here. I just want to stress that. Okay, so it's the holidays. I have to say, this is a time where your kids come home. You hope your kids come home for at least for Christmas and New Year's and all of that. So we'll be having that, and my daughter will be home. My son will be home. My daughter is all excited about the fact that she's not been here to see the new artisanal cheese location, and she loves making charcuterie boards, so we'll be visiting your place sometime in the next couple of days once she gets home. I'm pretty excited. What kind of cheeses do you have in that you brought in from around the world?
Bill, we have the widest assortment come holiday time.
Yeah,
we
you gotta
really
do
brought
that.
in. Yesterday we had 3 pallets of cheeses from France. They were air flown in. They were trucked up to Utica yesterday. So the building is brimming with all cheeses from France, along with Spain and Italy and the United States. That's great. And, of course, as they come in, we age them and we cut and wrap them and ship them. As you see here, today we have our beautiful classic wooden boxes and our classic red tin. They make for great gifts. So, for us, the holidays are twofold. We ship gifts all across the country, but we are also at the center of family events like you were talking about, Bill.
Yeah.
Where we have now cured meats, restaurant quality breads, cheeses from around the world, and of course, in local Utica, New York, a party without half moons is not a party.
Yeah, you got to go with the half moons, which, by the way, are holiday colors. If I can see over there,
A little red and green, just a little
yeah.
something different for the holiday.
Okay, so talk about the wooden box and the Weekender is really a perfect thing to bring along if you're heading to a party or going to somebody's house.
The wooden box, Bill, is a wooden box we bring in from France. They're emblazed with our logo. It's beautiful. The presentation of cheeses that are inside with dried fruits and crackers. Of course, the wooden boxes just aren't shipped with cheese in it. We have our fromagère notes and display tags that call out the cheeses. that are shipped. Customers could order their own customized gift boxes, or they could look to us to, for instance, ship an Italian collection or a Spanish collection.
We're showing the shot up on YouTube Live right now. I love the fact that when you pull the cheeses out, you have those cards describing what everything is.
Yeah, note cards, and we have the display tags on the inside that allow people to display the cheeses, give the host a chance to show off their new cheese knowledge.
Very
That's
cool.
a lot of fun. Yeah,
love it.
I'm not going to embarrass myself and mispronounce these, but I just want to say it's like a mini World Cup tournament you have going on here. You've got the Netherlands, you've got a U.S. cheese, you've got one from Spain. You've got another U.S. cheese. All you need is one from maybe Brazil.
You got the World Cup.
Portuguese cheese. You got the World Cup tournament in a box right there.
We have the World Cup in a box. That's a great way of looking at it, Jeff.
I like it.
It is timely too.
And then the tin. What do you? This is another basically a gift basket.
Yeah, it is. But the artisanal colors, holiday time. We call it our classic red tin. We just sell so many of them.
Yeah.
And they make for great corporate gifts or gifts for relatives. And what's nice about the artisanal gifts is that, for instance, if I bought one of you guys a necktie, you'd wear it and nobody in the house really cares. But if I shipped you one of these boxes of cheeses, everybody's around the table. Everybody's enjoying it. They want to know where it came from. So it kind of brings the whole family together. Yeah. It's a gift for one, but for everyone to enjoy.
So you can ship these. These will ship anywhere in the country?
Yeah, we even shipped to Hawaii this week. We shipped to Puerto Rico, anywhere in the country, including the Hemstraw Half Moons. We shipped all over the country.
And you found a way to ship those Half Moons without them falling all over the place.
Yeah, we have a new package. It has these new inserts in it, so...
Yeah, they don't move around.
The Half Moons don't move around because, it's not so much what we do with it. We have to give our boxes over to UPS, and we only know what can happen in a warehouse.
No doubt about it, especially at the holiday time. Okay, the other question would be hours. As we're getting closer to Christmas and down the road to New Year's, what are the hours? What can people rely on?
We're going to have our regular hours of operation. We will be closed Christmas Day and New Year's Day.
Both falling on a Sunday.
Yeah, both falling on a Sunday. We've got to give our folks a break. And on the eves, we're going to close around 2 to 3 o'clock. But we expect to be really busy for both Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve with breads. And we have charcuterie now. We're making it available to people, cheeses, and, of course, all the sweet stuff from Hemstraw's.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right, great stuff. Located right off the arterial in downtown Utica.
I'll just mention one more thing. When you came in last time, you had the different kind of breads and different kind of rolls, and we enjoyed afterward the cranberry right in the bread. Can you explain what that is? I know you guys have that. And I just enjoyed it, but again, I can't pronounce it, so I'll have you fill it in.
The cranberry, we have a cranberry walnut bread.
Yes, the cranberry walnut.
We have a cheese bread. It's a range of cheeses.
Jeff was very impressed that there were whole cranberries in the cranberry
and a
bread.
lot of them, like handfuls, whole handfuls of cranberries.
You know what's awful is that the problem is when you buy the stuff. That's just that shows you the difference in buying local and homemade, basically. Versus, the big operations that sell worldwide and mass produce. There, you might get a little speck of a cranberry in your ho-ho. But here, we're talking about this is craftsmanship in the kitchen, in the bakery.
It's artisan baking.
Yeah.
It's Ernesto with his hands at the table, and the bread that's got everybody excited about this year is that he makes a chocolate cherry sourdough bread, but not heavy, dense sourdough, a light sourdough. It's amazing with some of the cheeses that we have, and it's so different.
Yeah. Love it. Anything else, Jeff?
I'm sorry. There's just so many things. You won't be disappointed if you stop by. I know you were just given the hours. If I interrupted that, I apologize. But open till 2 on the eves. You said Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve, and typically you're open
till 4. So we're just cutting off a couple hours so everybody get home and have a good time.
And normally it's 7 days a week, but obviously it'll be closed for Christmas and New Year's Day.
Yeah.
Okay, good stuff.
Thank you.
Happy holidays.
Yeah.
You know, you should be booking him right now for our Christmas extravaganza. I did a lot of booking yesterday, and we'll be continuing with that. We go from 6 a.m. until 12 noon on the day before, the night before Christmas, and we'll be coming live this year from the Stanley. At that time, we're asking the people pick up a twin bedding set. That could mean the pillow and the pillowcase, but really we're looking for sheets and maybe a comforter, a twin-size bed package, a bedding package. Drop them off at the Stanley during the program, and that will go to Sleep in Heavenly Peace. They'll be constructing beds that very morning and will be delivering to 4 families in need whose kids don't sleep on a bed. They sleep on the floor or the couch or in a chair. They'll have their own bed. And this is what Sleep in Heavenly Peace does. We'll be doing it all from the Stanley during our Christmas extravaganza. It happens on the 23rd, Friday morning, 6 a.m. until 12 noon. 7:27 now at WIBX.
In Gyms, locally owned in the Mohawk Valley for over 100 years. We specialize in hardwood flooring, carpeting, area rugs, ceramic tile, laminate flooring, and waterproof vinyl flooring. We can custom cut and bind area rugs to fit any size room. It's a great time to get your house ready for the holidays with new carpeting and durable hardwood flooring. In Gyms Flooring America, call 315-733-0421 or online at ingyms.com.
It's the holidays. You need a new bed, but you've got shopping to do. I get it. This is Kevin Fear, president of Mattress Express. Would a $1,000 prepaid Visa card help out? How about a 75-inch flat screen TV? You're going to get your choice of those two things at Mattress Express when you get a select luxury king or queen set, like the number bed by Instant Comfort or Posh and Lavish. Yes, of course, you'll get the flex set option in king or queen. 5 years, no interest, no money down for qualified buyers, and an incredible night's sleep. Don't forget, we also have Purple and Puffy, the big online brands when you come to our store. Come on in, try them all before you buy. We'll pull up their website in store. We'll give you the same price, their same holiday deal that they're giving online, but you get to try it first. It's the holidays. You always get a great deal during the holidays at Mattress Express. Go to mattressexpressny.com or call 1-800-NEW-BEDS.
Till December 21st at Harley-Davidson and Power Sports of Utica. For every $100 worth of merchandise, get tickets to win a drawing of your choice, a new ATV or motorcycle for the holidays. We will match any competitor or e-commerce price. We're a Toys for Tots drop-off till December 9th. Till December 21st at Harley-Davidson and Power Sports of Utica. For every $100 worth of merchandise, get tickets to win a drawing of your choice, a new ATV or motorcycle for the holidays. We will match any competitor or e-commerce price. We're a Toys for Tots drop-off till December 9th.
Have you been naughty or nice this year? Cash don't care. At Jackson Hewitt, you could still get up to $4,500 for the holidays. Some bucks now, more bucks in January. So be naughty. Snap up all the ginger snaps. Wear a pretty sweater to an ugly sweater holiday party. You could still get up to $4,500 when you go to Jackson Hewitt today. Details at jacksonhewitt.com. Eligible clients can get up to $1,000 in December and up to $3,500 in January. Loans by Republic Bank and Trust Company. Finance charge may apply.
I thought learning a language would be too much work. Then I discovered Babbel. They make learning fun. J'aime Babbel.
Babbel's lessons only take 10 or 15 minutes, quick and easy. And soon, you turn and realize, hey, I'm starting to speak another language. How'd that happen? Como si fuera magia.
My friend from Italy said my accent and pronunciation is perfect. It's because Babbel's lessons are designed by language teachers and voiced by real native speakers. Each lesson is like living in another country for 15 minutes.
I love that there's all kinds of ways to learn. Babbel's podcast or games or videos. You can even join live classes with a language teacher.
You learn words and phrases you actually use in real conversations.
In 3 weeks, I was starting to speak in another language. So easy.
If you want to learn a language, there's no faster, easier, better way than Babbel.
Go to Babbel.com to try for free. That's Babbel.com. Babbel.com.
Hey, we're talking about our Christmas Eve extravaganza, which really will be the day before the night before Christmas, next Friday, from 6 until noon. And we'll be doing it live from the Stanley. And we'll definitely have Ricky Z performing. Rick, of course, from Steep Pawnee Mazda. And what a year they have had in taking care of their customers, creating a completely different buying experience. And Rick is amazing on the keyboard, does things... You'll think you're listening to Billy Joel or Elton John. It's just incredible. And during their Mazda Season of Inspiration sales event, it's continuing all month long. Rick and everybody at Steve Ponte Mazda would simply like to say thank you. Thanks to the customers, their friends, for trusting them with your car buying and servicing needs. Your continued support of the dealership is something that they truly value, respect, and appreciate. So they say happy holiday season from your friends at the family-owned and operated Steve Ponte Mazda, located on Commercial Drive in Yorkville.
We have clear skies, 16 degrees. WIBX News Time is 7:32. This news update is brought to you by Nothing Bundt Cakes in New Hartford. Sweeten your holiday with decorated bundt cakes and festive buntinis and giftable buntlets. Order online at nothingbundtcakes.com. A decision has been made about the future of SUNY Poly in Marcy. The Board of Trustees at SUNY voting unanimously to reunify the College of Nanoscale Science and Engineering in Albany. The Albany County Executive tweeted yesterday he was excited to hear that the programs at SUNY Poly Institute would be merging with the Albany campus in the Capital Region. We'll speak with Oneida County Executive Anthony Pacenti coming up next here on Keeler. What does that mean for our area and the programs that are currently available at SUNY Poly in Marcy? Several fire crews battled a blaze at the Camden DPW building. Photos and video of the impressive blaze at WIBX950.com. Firefighters from Camden, Florence, McConnellsville, Cleveland, Sylvan Beach, and Lee Center all responded. The DPW garage, though, and several pieces of equipment were destroyed. The cause still being looked at. The former Zeb's restaurant on the corner of Seneca Turnpike in New Hartford caught fire last night. Fire crews responded to the scene after 9 p.m. The cause there still under investigation. New Hartford police still trying to figure out how a 30-year-old Little Falls woman became so badly injured that she died after being hospitalized for more than a week. Martha Staring was found seriously injured lying in the road on Elm Street in New Hartford on the evening of November 30th. At this time, police have not shared any theories as to how she became so badly injured and what happened. Meanwhile, a GoFundMe page has been set up to help her family with funeral costs. As of Tuesday morning, the page had raised more than $40,000. And disgraced young crypto king Sam Bankman freed in jail in the Bahamas after learning of the charges against him here in the U.S. Federal prosecutors say the former CEO of FTX stole billions of dollars from customers since 2019, up until the company collapsed. He faces 8 charges, including conspiracy to commit wire fraud on customers and conspiracy to commit money laundering. Mississippi is scheduled this evening to execute a former military recruiter who raped and murdered a teenage waitress more than 20 years ago. Thomas Edwin Loden Jr. scheduled to die by lethal injection tonight. The 58-year-old former sergeant and Marine recruiter was convicted and sentenced to death in 2021 for the rape and murder of 16-year-old Lisa Marie Gray in June of 2000. Hedge fund billionaire Ken Griffin is suing the IRS and the Treasury Department for what he calls the unlawful disclosure of his tax information. The suit filed Tuesday in Miami federal court is more fuel on the fire over leaked tax filings of super wealthy people, including Warren Buffett and Jeff Bezos. The Chicago-based Griffin suit stems from his inclusion in a 2021 ProPublica series examining the taxes paid by top billionaires. Some of those mentioned in the series paid no federal income taxes for many years. And NHL Commissioner Gary Bettman said he's met with movie actor Ryan Reynolds about potentially being involved with the Ottawa Senators' new ownership group. Bettman shared the news Tuesday that the NHL's Board of Governors held a meeting in Palm Beach, Florida. Bettman said Reynolds very much impressed him. The team announced last month that it will be up for sale, and the team must, however, remain in Ottawa. WIBX News Time, 7:36. Your Weather Center forecast is brought to you by Cliff's Local Market. They keep you going. Sunny skies today with a high of 31 degrees. Overnight tonight, partly cloudy skies and a low of 18. Snow showers expected Thursday later in the day. It'll be mostly cloudy with a high of 35. Snow expected after 4 or 5 p.m. And we do have a winter storm watch in effect Thursday afternoon through Saturday morning. Heavy snow, mixed precipitation possible. Total snow and sleet accumulation of 7 to 15 inches is possible, and winds could gust as high as 35 miles an hour. That advisory in place for northern Oneida, southern Oneida, Otsego, Delaware, and Sullivan counties. Bill, right now, mostly clear, 16 degrees. It's 7:37.
All right, I mentioned this is just a huge news week with so much happening. We're dealing with the horrific death of Martha Staring, as Jeff talked about in the news. Manja Macrina, the pizzeria with a fire. Yesterday, Zeb's, the vacant restaurant on fire. The terrible fire at the Camden DPW. And then this latest story on SUNY Poly, the College of Nanoscale Science and Engineering, CNSE. That college looks like it is being picked up and being moved to the Albany campus, where both programs, which currently operate in two different cities, will be under one roof. That leaves SUNY Poly and our campus here in Marcy to basically reinvent itself and focus on nano, nursing, and engineering. Aren't we already doing that? A lot of confusion. We'll speak with the county executive coming up in just a minute on that. A lot of stuff happening today. All right, let's do our free money question of the day. It's a chance for you to win $106.90. We had a big winner yesterday. John and Bridgewater walking away with the cash. And this morning, Davey, we're going to go with caller number which one?
4.
Caller 4. Right now at 315-736-0186. Fourth caller, I'll give you a little clue. We're dealing with holiday trivia, which was really easy yesterday. Let's see what today brings. Holiday trivia. A chance to win some cash from Mobica and WIBX next.
Get your home ready for the holidays with Adirondack Home Furniture. With free local delivery, sale prices on in-stock items and special orders, and a knowledgeable staff, your home will be ready for the holidays in no time. Adirondack Home Furniture has a large line of quality, USA-made furniture from top manufacturers. Create your dream home for the holidays and beyond with Adirondack Home Furniture. Entertaining this year? Well, entertain in style with a beautiful top-quality sofa from Smith Brothers Furniture. Looking for a new recliner for that someone on your list? They have a large variety of power flex steel recliners and lift chairs in stock. Stop in today to Adirondack Home Furniture and get your home ready for the holidays. Living rooms, dining rooms, bedrooms, and home office, you'll find everything on your holiday list at Adirondack Home Furniture, Riverside Center in North Utica, or browse our inventory online at AdirondackHomeFurniture.com. Adirondack Home Furniture, helping you get your home ready for the holidays.
It's the most wonderful time of the year, and the Old Wicker Mill is the most wonderful place to shop this holiday season. Christmas shopping should be fun, and fun it is at the Old Wicker Mill, with a huge selection of amazing products like Pandora, Vera Bradley, Brighton, a toy department, Nora Fleming, Dr. Squatch, a women's clothing department, and so much more. Plus, plenty of sales associates to help you navigate our amazing selection. We'll help you check off that list so you can get back to what the holidays are all about, family and friends. Our store is very large, so we have something for everyone, but it's easy to shop. Each department is beautifully displayed, our aisles are wide, and we have small shopping carts so you can move easily around the store. The Old Wicker Mill has been a part of your holidays for 43 years. We love the holidays, and we love helping you select the perfect gift for everyone on your list. So this year, put fun back into the holiday shopping at the Old Wicker Mill, where old friends meet and new friends are made. We're conveniently located at the New Hartford Shopping Center.
The Spirit of the Cowboy special.
Spirit comes from the soul. It's not something that happens to you. It's something that happens in you.
You take pride in yourself. You take pride in your brand.
It's hard work. It's perseverance. It's dedication. And it's preserving what's old and keeping it new.
The Spirit of the Cowboy is the last wild, free thing left.
Boot Barn. Share the West.
WIBX 950 and 106.9 FM. This is Keeler.
Another item we're working on here this morning is the Utica School Board meeting last night, which was quite eventful. We'll have a little audio that we'll squeeze in on that coming up real soon as well. Chris in Cassville is on line number 3 here. Hi, Chris. Good morning.
Morning, Bill.
Are you ready to take your shot at some holiday cash?
Oh, yeah.
This comes from the Hobeika Law Firm, Joseph and Andrew Hobeika at 315-724-1600 for all of your legal needs. And here is your question. You'll have 7 seconds to answer it. If you have to guess, do what you need to do. Here we go. Which U.S. president was the first to recognize Hanukkah with a menorah lighting at the White House? Which president? Ready? Go.
Eisenhower.
You're going to go with... that would really make sense. With everything that happened during World War II, right? Everything would that would just completely make sense. But no, it wasn't until 1979 that there was and that was Jimmy Carter. 1979. That's shocking to me. Nonetheless, we will give you, and I have to say, this is a cool gift card. If you want, go to, I believe you can pick them up online, but we're going to give one to you. It's the Utica Food and Fun Card. Babes, good at Babes at Harbor Point, 72 Tavern and Grill, Aquavina Restaurant, the Tailor and the Cook, Cookie's Q and Creamery, the Adirondack Bank Center, ticketing and concessions, so anything over there as well, and the Utica City Team Store as well. And right now, if you go to uticagiftcard.com, you can buy $20, get $5 free. But for you, Chris, it's all yours. The Utica All-in-One card, a $25 gift card. And Davey's going to hook you up. We're going to send it right over to you, okay?
Thanks, Bill. Merry Christmas.
All right, Merry Christmas. Chris and Davey, he's all yours.
Can I just begin with, we still get these to this day. We get these long, rambling emails from a particular individual. Sometimes they're of a threatening nature, and they're just rambling, and they make accusations. But they are pages-long emails that are all one sentence. And I wonder if that person is responsible for writing this as well. I'm going to read it to you again. Governor Hochul's transformative vision for SUNY includes the empowerment of and investment in SUNY Poly Utica to strategically grow their successful programs in engineering and nursing, while strengthening their position as a premier public polytechnic and destination for economic and workforce development, focused on nanotechnology and integration of chip technology in new and innovative ways, including the needs of the Air Force Research Lab. And
Wow.
I don't see a period there. I think that might have been a partial quote.
County Executive Anthony Pacini, what in the hell does that mean?
Well, I think I wish I knew.
Yeah.
I think, here's the thing with all of this. It's, and the argument coming from the governor and her, her staff or even the SUNY board is that, this is going to make us better, and that, no, they're not losing anything. Well, if you're not losing anything, why are you redefining and restating the entire purpose? And in that run-on sentence that Jeff was reading, so we're going to focus again. We're going to focus on, quite frankly, what we've been focusing on nanotechnology, but you just stripped us of the entire nanotechnology,
right?
The Center for Nanoscale Science and Engineering. So you've stripped that away, but now we're going to put a plan together on how we can be. It's unbelievably ludicrous. It's a comedy of errors that you wouldn't expect. From any governor, but also from academia in terms of what they put forth, and it's just appalling.
So it's like saying we're going to take the nursing program away from St. E's, and now what we want them to do is to create a nursing program.
Well, that's it's like, why did you? So what was the purpose of all this other than to do exactly what we knew you were going to do, is strip away, the piece, and on top of all this, then, you have elected officials in other parts of the state, excuse me, applauding, the fact that you've just dismantled one area of the state, in the school that's been in existence. But this goes back to, we've been asking for a president for 6 years. 6 years there's been interim acting presidents. Now we get an officer in charge, and we're supposed to feel very, very excited about this.
Right.
Oh, this is great news. How is it great news? Why are you putting an officer in charge? And now you're going to find us a president? We did. 2 searches. This will be the 3rd. We're losing a great candidate today who was there for, Todd Larson, who's been there, has been acting president, interim president, whatever, for the last couple of years, in which, he wasn't going to stick around and has, opportunities in other places. But back to, I think that statement that Jeff read says it all. It's like, so I don't get this. So everything's fine, but we're going to redefine in a year the entire role of what SUNY is going to look like. It's just crazy.
I want to just say that we have right now, if you look at the SUNY Poly website, the College of Nanoscale Science and Engineering, CNSE, there are programs that are in Albany. There are programs that are in Utica regarding nanotechnology. And then, like nanoscale engineering, that's offered in Utica and in Albany. Nanoscale science is offered in Utica and Albany, et cetera, et cetera. All of these programs, I just don't understand what the reason would be to even make this announcement. And the announcement itself is just so confusing when
let me explain a little bit about it. So this is obviously this has been something we've been talking about for a year because it was in her State of the State at the beginning of 2022.
Right.
And I expect now the rush for this is that they've got to get something in the State of the State or in the budget for 2023. So they needed to do this like right away. So they run through this fire drill with us yesterday about this language, which I found ridiculous that we were trying to put together. This is literally like, I hate to use the fairy tale, but Humpty Dumpty fell. We're trying to put it together in put it together in like 20 mintes.
Right,
in terms of a resolution that quite frankly makes no sense whatsoever, and that is just to try to pacify us, to say, oh, this is good for you. We're doing this, but you're going to have all this other stuff. We're going to redefine. Again, I'm crazy about the whole redefining a college that has been in existence, that has been, put forth with so much investment in terms of nanoscale science, in terms of engineering, in terms of, that campus and what's been built out. And all of a sudden now in a matter of a resolution, which, why? And then the argument was, well, we have to put because the president's leaving today, the acting president, we have to put someone there. Okay, then put someone in charge. Why you have to do the whole, whole 9 yards here, and why are you not, doing what we asked you to do, 9 months ago, which was, let's look at this from the right, go get a full-time, go get a chancellor, which they finally done, but he doesn't take office till January. Give us a president, which they haven't done, and then let's look at what every piece of this is and how it works. But
do you remember? Do you remember when this would have been 8 years ago? I forgot when SUNY went from SUNY IT to SUNY Poly.
2014, and I think that's part of it because who did that?
I've got a commemorative pen that designates that. I remember I can tell you the press conference we had and who was there.
But do you remember because that was a big thing that occurred. Because there were people that were complaining that were parts of other programs at SUNY IT. Those programs were going away, and because the college was moving towards nanotechnology. So let's not forget that back in 2014, there was a major change at SUNY IT, moving to SUNY Poly, a major transformation at that school. Now, what are we doing?
Yeah, and to the extent where I remember, being up there when the signage was going up on what was Quad C that said the School for Nanoscale Science and Center for Nanoscale Science and Engineering.
Right. And
when we celebrated that, and now the argument is, well, the students are there, the faculty, they're not really going well. There's a couple. Which is wrong. The enrollment at SUNY has been, and they will tell you, and I know I can tell you what SUNY's going to say today or what the governor's going to say today or the governor's office, however they crafted that. Well, SUNY enrollment's down. Not true. Everybody's been down the last 2 years, so you can't even talk about that.
Correct.
SUNY enrollment's down, that CNSC was really always in Albany. No, it was here. It's not always in Albany, and they're not fulfilling the the mission. That's not true either. That all of that is false. And on the heels of Wolfspeed, which came here with and provided an endowment. I think that's another thing that gets lost. And we made this argument. Gave $2 million for scholarships, put another $1.5 million in for faculty endowments, and what do you say to them now?
Right.
And what do you say to companies like Indium, like the Air Force Research Lab? They throw that in as an aside, which they didn't even know that they had a partnership with the lab up at Griffiths that we were a part of. So you got all these different companies and AIS, and go through them all and looking for that have a pipeline for engineers in Central New York. Now you got Micron coming, which there's nothing in Central New York in terms of a top scale engineering college, and you have a state university that can fulfill that obligation and is fulfilling that obligation.
Right.
And instead you're stripping it away. And again, go back to, so how is it that all of these leaders down in the Albany area, which, I'm one of my colleagues and as a county executive and a senator and assemblyman are praising this reunification, as they put it. So how does that all mesh in doing the right thing and looking at what's best and who's thinking about the students here?
Right.
Who's thinking about what if I'm a student, if I'm someone in whether I'm at Proctor, at RFA, at Camden, or whatever, in any school or whether I'm in Lewis County, Herkimer County, wherever, and I want an engineering school and I can't afford it, I want to go to a state school. What do you tell them now?
Right.
What do they do now? And what about the student that's planning on going to SUNY next year?
Right.
What do you tell them? And what are you telling anybody going for it? It really just is. So
well, it's like
frustrating.
anything else. You're as a high school student graduating, you want to go to the school that specializes in a certain program, such as nanotechnology. You don't want to go to a school that specializes in something else, and they also have these nano programs.
But it's we're supposed to be affordable for everybody.
Right.
That's what the state university system has been designed to do. To be affordable. I remember I went to MVCC. I was going to go to SUNY, but they dropped the program at that point because I was a criminal justice major.
Yeah.
And that was a big loss for them in that regard. And then they finally years later brought it back because it was something that was important to them. But here we go again. Now this is even to an unbelievable magnitude in terms of the importance of the engineering piece, but more important on the on the nanotechnology side. And then to put that back in, you've just contradicted everything that you said. And for a SUNY board of trustees to put that resolution together, I'd be embarrassed. It's an embarrassment.
Is this a done deal?
Well, it's. I think that talking with Senator Griffo and Assemblywoman Buttonshon and others. This is the question now is what's going to be in the budget? What can be fought in this regard? In terms of this, because the SUNY budget's got to go through the state legislature now. Whether or not enough is done, but I think that if as loud as we can be and as forceful as we can be, I think that nobody wants to be poking their neighbor in the eye here, and that's the wrong thing that we do. Look, we can we celebrate when we succeed in something from North Carolina or Florida or another state that we're grabbing a company or doing something.
Right,
but you're talking about now neighboring counties or even counties miles away, taking things away from that we already have in place. And I think that's another story that's got to be told.
Coming up, I have the Assemblywoman Marianne Buttonshon. Jeff.
Quick question, Tony. I remember when this merger happened in 2014, all the talk was we'd have to build up in Albany. There's no place else to develop. So that was part of the reason, to my memory, if that serves me correctly, to move to Marcy.
Well, that was because you're dead on, and that's one of the things I said in my tweet yesterday back to my friend in Albany. It's like you don't even have nanotechnology as part of your plan, for economic development, which because you're all built out in that campus.
Yeah. One of the reasons I saw was that. Or a possible justification was they were in the running for a chip fab, but because the campuses were split, that was something that fell against them, so they couldn't get it. But if they got it, where would they put it?
Yeah, that's it's not even. Hey, look, you can play that game back and forth, but I mean the benefit is we're celebrating Micron because it's good for us.
Yeah.
But we're not celebrating this stripping of something from. We're not taking anything from Onondaga, nor are we competing with Onondaga in that regard. We're working with them.
Let me bring in.
That's the piece.
Let me bring in Marianne Buttonshawn, Assemblywoman, the only Democrat in the delegation here from our area. Marianne, good morning.
Good morning.
So, tell me, have you had conversations with the governor on this issue, and what did you communicate to her?
Well, clearly, as the county executive stated, this has been a collaborative effort with everyone in this area in regards to the importance. This conversation started right after her State of the State, where it was identified without any notification, similar to what we had yesterday, that clearly there is no plan, there's no direction. It was just identified within the State of the State. So I have aggressively been in her office when I was in Albany asking what is happening. And my main request was nothing goes forward till you have a new chancellor in place. I've spent over 2 decades in higher education, and I clearly understand when you don't have a plan that includes economic development, the importance of academics. And I can't emphasize the importance that academics is what SUNY Poly does. And we need to stay focused on the accomplishments that they have completed. I'm a graduate from there, and I know Jeff was just talking about the transitions that had occurred, but this clearly doesn't happen without a clear plan, including everyone in the community. And that is what has been happening. So over the last year, until there is a new chancellor that can come forward and look at SUNY as it should be looked at, as one university across the state of New York, with each piece of it providing the best of the best. And this is what was happening in Marcy. Nano is where it works. The county executive talked about large worldwide corporations that are right here on campus, whether it's Danfoss or Wolfspeed. And the movement that we talk about with internships and apprenticeships that occur on a college campus, the investment of $3.5 million from private industry to say we're looking at the importance of making sure that you have your academic credentials that are in the classroom, as well as ensuring that those students have an opportunity to work right within industry. I mean, it's just perfect. But the chancellor is not even in place when this happens yesterday. It is just something that is irresponsible, unacceptable, and as was previously stated, was just brought at a last minute. Our students are in finals this week. I mean, you could think back to Bill, when you were in finals, can you imagine someone, oh, by the way, we're moving a program that you're in? Good luck on that final today.
Right. WIBX Utica Rome, County Executive Anthony Pacini is on with us. We're talking about the Nanoscale Science and Engineering, CNSE. This college, this program, we're fearing is going to be moved to Albany, and then we'll be left to pick up the pieces and figure out what SUNY Poly is going to be after that. Also, Assemblywoman Marianne Buttonshawn, what did the governor tell you?
I guess. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead, Mary.
Let's start with Marianne, and then I'll go to Tony.
I can say that we had a meeting with all of us at the table with her. And since prior to that and continuing on that, we have worked, and I have worked with her staff. And again, stating until you have leadership at the college, as the county executive talked. How many years have there's not been a permanent president? But even look at the enrollment, look at the growth that this campus has been able to sustain. But without those two pieces of a chancellor and a president in place, you can't make any changes.
Right.
You've got to make sure that that's there. And that is the push that I have placed as I have been in Albany since the beginning. Nothing can happen on this campus, any changes without that. You don't have a chancellor.
Right,
So
right.
why would you even consider this?
County Executive Pacini, clearly the governor's not listening.
Well, the Assemblyman said we met and we stressed that point. And I'll be blunt. I mean, she could not give us a clear picture of why this was done, and the constant, the overplaying of the statement. Well, the students aren't there, and then and the enrollment is down, and this is going to make SUNY better. I mean, it is just ridiculous. And with all due respect to the governor, she was given bad advice from people, but she ran with it, and she doesn't want, she's not the type, and Senator, and I'll tell you this, she's not the type to back away, from a statement, which is obviously the cardinal mistake in this business, that when you do screw up, you got to admit it, and I've been down that road, and quite frankly, she is getting bad information and is believing it, and is not, we gave her data, we gave her statistics, we gave her the enrollment numbers, which don't lie, and it comes from them, not from us, so
right.
It just has been, but let me go back to the other thing. We had one meeting with her, but the thing is, we've been talking to administrations, the prior administration, this administration, about just what Marianne said about a president. We haven't had a president. And one of the things I said yesterday is, it's like any other major organization, especially when it comes to a college. If there's not a permanent leadership in place, what message is that sending, and how is that, fulfilling the need of that institution?
Right.
I mean, that, and it's very, look at any piece, interims only are, should be for a defined period of time, not 6 years, not three searches, in which you had candidate. Who's going to apply in this next round of search? It's going to want to come to a school that they don't know what it's going to look like.
Right.
I mean, if I'm far from the PhD level that the Assemblywoman is and others. I mean, but if I'm out there and I'm like looking, you think I'm going to take a look at SUNY Poly and be the president? I want to apply for the presidency.
Right.
I mean, they've been through three searches, great candidates all throughout, all of them. Again, losing a great one today. And who's going to apply when? Well, in a year, they're going to define what it's going to look like.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, how ridiculous is that? Are we starting a new school here? I mean, that's the other question I got to ask. I mean, we're starting new? We're dividing, we're putting a plan as to what the college is going to look like? That's just, it's just crazy.
Marianne Buttonshaw, what can be done? What do you feel the plan going forward is? And can this be salvaged?
Well, I think clearly this is a great campus that has sustained, but more importantly is to meet with the chancellor to have a clear direction. This group, the county executive, brought together expertise and leaders in this area to create a proposal that is second to none. And that proposal is the guiding vision for this community, and it needs to be followed. So number one is to take a look at clearly what needs to happen. We don't need to be pacified. We don't need to be hearing, oh, don't worry, it'll be better. No, what we need is for them to clearly understand that this is a plan that is a well-thought-out plan that includes every partner, whether it's AFRL, whether it's private industry, that is willing to be a part of this plan and move it forward for not only the students, but for this community. And again, there's a proven track record that it works and it needs to move forward. So that's first step. I have heard from the governor's office that, oh, we're going to work. I mean, I think that Tony makes an excellent point. I mean, it's tough to have belief.
Right.
When you're looking at the agenda yesterday and you don't find this resolution and it has to go into executive session, first of all, that's the biggest red flag. Why? Why does this have to be within not a public conversation? So, I mean,
and why did it have to be yesterday?
Makes sense.
Tony?
Yeah, and why did it have to be yesterday? What was? I mean, all of a sudden we go from complete radio silence in terms of this. We have one brief meeting. We have one meeting with the interim chancellor, and then days later they appoint a new chancellor, which gives us hope that to Marianne's point and others were okay, here we go. Now we can have this discussion, and then all of a sudden this is on the agenda, which it's not on the agenda. It becomes on the agenda, in terms of it. I mean, this is, this is what, legislative bodies and other boards get criticized for all the time, and yet they're blatant about it in terms of, putting this thing together. It's almost like, and I know, we talked about the football, comparison, Bill, of the Colts leading at midnight, in the dark of night. That's what they're doing here. And and so that nobody sees it, and then it took place, and we voted on it. So it just is it's crazy. And look, let's be honest it rests with the governor. She can change this.
It almost seems as if the plan is to fix their problem in Albany and create a problem in Marcy.
Well, but that's a.
I mean, in terms of their intent,
but it still goes back to, the argument of making it, their argument of this is going to make SUNY better, but we got to put a plan together on how that's going to be.
Right.
No, we could tell you how as Marianne said and others, we put together a group. I mean, we could tell you how to make it better. It needs enhancements in certain things. Now that's not to say it's failing, and that's not to say it's not accomplishing its mission. You should be strengthening the mission, not diminishing the mission.
Right.
And taking away and I just keep going back to that statement of stripping away CNSC, but then saying, but we're going to focus on nanotechnology. It's like me, it's me saying tomorrow, we're not going to plow roads next year, and I don't know, we're going to figure out how we're going to do it.
Right. Definitely is contradicting. Absolutely.
All the way around.
Yeah, all the way. The Assemblywoman, Marianne Buttonshon, thank you. Hopefully we can I don't know, find some way to
Tony's point.
Yeah.
I mean, thank you very much. But it is a thriving, outstanding college that will continue to move forward. But that's, I think, the most significant aspect is that wasn't happening in Albany. So again, to take a SUNY and pit them against each other, it makes absolutely no sense.
Right.
Students want to come to the Marcy campus for the programming, for what this community has to offer. I get calls from parents. I clearly understand what a great impact this community places on that college, whether it's partnerships with the fire department, bunk-in programs, all of the little pieces that work so well are clearly what attracts students to this campus. And those are the secondary effects that must be considered.
Bill, I'll leave one thing, because I know you're going to continue on this story, and as reporters, you guys dig and do this stuff. I guess the question, if you get a chance to ask SUNY or whatever, if they come forward, or somebody even from the governor's office comes forward and say this, it's like, so why is it that this institution hasn't had a president in 6 years?
Right.
What was, so why does Albany does, Buffalo does,
right.
Binghamton does, one retired, but they had one. Go through all of the state schools across the state. They got presidents. They haven't had a vacancy they haven't had interims for 6 years.
Yeah.
Why?
Marianne Buttonshon, thank you for the time. We appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
And then, Tony, I want to just follow up before we let you go on the fire at the Camden DPW. What will the county do to assist? We have a storm that's on the way. In just 24 hours.
Yeah, it's never a good. It's never a good time, but especially in the in the winter. I mean, I spoke immediately to the mayor yesterday. We had a conversation, and our crews and my commissioner has been working with them. We are going to provide trucks that, we're fortunate that we have surplus vehicles that, from time to time, and because we have such a larger fleet than obviously villages and towns in that regard, we're going to, provide them with trucks. I told them we provide them with manpower. We'll do what we need to do in coordination, and whatever needs to be done, because there is a storm coming, and Camden, is an area that gets hit pretty hard because of where it sits in the Tug Hill Plateau and off of Oswego. There.
Yeah, they get snow.
Yeah, they do, and so we're prepared. We're going to talk again today. He's going to reevaluate, but obviously they lost everything, and one of the things is when you talk about equipment. I mean, look, you know what it is to buy a car today. I mean, or to order a car. I mean,
right.
Order. They can order 5 plows today. They're not going to get them.
They may not see them until
maybe longer.
2024.
Yeah.
Right. So that's why whatever we can give them, we will, and work with them on that, and whatever manpower they need,
Tony,
we'll provide. We'll supplement it.
How many, to your understanding, how many plow trucks did they lose in the garage?
I think I don't hold me to that. I think at least 3. I think
Okay.
because I remember it's a village. They're not as big as a town department or whatever. I mean, they lost all equipment. So large, small, and villages like the city, the plows are a little bit different than what we use on the main highways. So they're because they're plowing village streets, like the city is and everything. So we've got some adjustments there. I mean, we have some smaller plows or plows that can address those areas as well. So.
Are you concerned? And I understand what happened in Camden is isolated, but we've now had 2 restaurant fires in New Hartford. Is there any concern that this is a trend?
Well, I mean, especially when it comes around this time of year. But when it comes at this time of year, sometimes there's other factors. Obviously, the cold weather and whether it's excessive heat or certain things that cause it. I think it was a boiler issue in Camden, and I'm not 100% certain on that, but those are things that that come up. I don't know. I haven't seen anything about about Zeb's.
It really is. It's more it's more anecdotal than anything else. It's just,
it is. It is. But at this time of year when these these incidents occur, I mean, it does. They get pretty bad, and because they burn, they'll tell you they'll burn a lot quicker. So.
All right. Well, listen. This
Thank you, Tony.
I don't know about you, Tony, but normally December is kind of quiet in the news world. This is
this week, last week, and I'm sure for the next couple, I've done the same thing. This is supposed to be, and I don't want to say a downtime, but a little slower time for us.
We're not seeing it.
Certainly, it's just not.
County Executive Anthony Pacini, thank you for the time. We appreciate it.
Thanks, guys.
All right.
Take care.
Thanks. A couple comments here. Dave says Zeb's is going to be a car wash. I don't know if there's anything in. You're shaking your head on that, Davey?
Well, there was a proposal in front of the town board a couple weeks ago that they want to propose a car wash there. But why would they need another car wash there? They just got that new one up the road.
That brand new one there,
from by Taco Bell by Singertown.
Then there's the one that's been there for
Well, hold on, guys. Isn't that the Stewart's argument? They don't need a gas station.
I'm not saying it shouldn't go there because. But I am saying another car wash? Are you kidding?
Listen, if they serve milkshakes in there, you'll be fine with it. You know that. So we have comments coming in. I know you've got some. Go ahead right there.
Good morning, Bill and Jeff. This is off YouTube, which we are live, by the way. If you subscribe, you'll get a link sent to you every morning when we go live, and it is in high definition, and, it is what it is. Good morning, Bill and Jeff. Oneida County Fire Log shows Taberg Fire Department was also called out to Camden. I don't know.
I apologize. So I listed down, based on the county fire log, the number, the fire companies, if you will, that responded. If I left Taberg off, I apologize.
Okay, Taberg was also called out. You have some quick comments, and we'll break.
Yeah, just, one here directed at Assemblywoman Buttonshaw. It says, during your, let's see, Johnny says insurance money for Christmas, maybe. John in New Hartford says, one of Buttonshaw's campaign ads touted that she was in the same party as the governor, and that would help get things done. So, get it done. I have comments here from Lance and Lee. He agrees. Why wouldn't you go to Albany instead of this area? Lance is kind of negative on this area.
I love Lance.
Dave says moving SUNY Poly is a political payoff, typical Albany corruption. Maybe Mr. Pacenti and Mr. Griffo should send more letters, useless letters, to the governor. Why would any 18-year-old choose this area over Albany to attend college? As a parent of a kid in their early 20s, a SUNY Poly grad, this area has little, if nothing, young adults in their age bracket. Unless I'm mistaken, this area voted for Zeldin, as I believe the Albany area voted for Hochul.
That's an interesting point.
Good morning.
Right? I
wonder.
This is an area that did not vote Democrat, and is this the reason we're getting the scraps? As for things to do in this area, what do young adults want to do? I've been trying to figure that out.
I don't know.
Yeah. But there's a
Fortnite.
lot. Is that what it is?
Yes.
There's a lot to listen. There's a lot when you're learning about nanotechnology on a campus where there is an active facility that is just at the beginning of building up to what they're going in Wolf Speed and what they're going to be able to accomplish here. State-of-the-art, worldwide technical chips that are going to help drive the electric vehicles and et cetera, et cetera. Why wouldn't you want to be on a campus that offers that? Because when you graduate, there's a place for you to work.
Not only that, but when you mix in Clay, which is, Clay is on.
Yeah.
We're closer to Clay than obviously Albany is. You got to go through us. So if there are feeder jobs and associated jobs, wouldn't they be closer to the SUNY Poly campus than the SUNY Albany campus?
I completely. The sad part of this whole thing is it does seem that they're trying to fix a problem they have out at SUNY Albany, and they're not worried that it's going to cause problems at SUNY Marcy. And by not worrying, a larger population base, more Democrats than Republicans by far. It's almost like when you put a landfill in, don't you want to put the landfill in the place where you get the least resistance, somewhere where the population is less, et cetera, et cetera. Well, that's almost as if what they're doing here. Who's going to cause more problems for Hochul if this doesn't happen? Albany or us here?
I just go back to the. I thought they didn't have room for more stuff out there.
Got a break. Coming up, we'll speak with Brandon Williams. The congressman-elect has gone through orientation, and we'll get his take on all of this, but what he sees going forward as the Republicans take control of the House. Brandon, coming right up, 8:20 at WIBX.
Till December 21st at Harley-Davidson and Power Sports of Utica. For every $100 worth of merchandise, get tickets to win a drawing of your choice, a new ATV or motorcycle for the holidays. We will match any competitor or e-commerce price. We're a Toys for Tots drop-off till December 9th. Till December 21st at Harley-Davidson and Power Sports of Utica. For every $100 worth of merchandise, get tickets to win a drawing of your choice, a new ATV or motorcycle for the holidays. We will match any competitor or e-commerce price. We're a Toys for Tots drop-off till December 9th.
This is Harry G., the heat pump expert from Country Suburban. With New York State planning to eliminate fossil fuels, heat pumps are the wave of the future. Heat pumps can save you up to 30% or more on your heating and cooling bills. Right now, you can receive up to $20,000 in heat pump incentives. Call 315-735-5300 for a free estimate.
The wonder of youth was still very much a part of your life when you nervously got on one knee to ask one of the most important questions and anxiously waited for the answer.
Yes, of course, yes.
This is Sarah from Engelbert's Jewelers. You started your forever together with Engelbert's, and because we have jewelry that fits every occasion and every budget, you have included us in many of life's milestones and celebrations. From Mother's Day to anniversaries, graduations, and numerous holidays.
Yes, of course, yes.
You started your forever together with Engelbert's Jewelers. We have jewelry that fits every occasion and every budget. Celebrate all those years of holidays together. Feel great with affordable elegance from Engelbert's Jewelers.
Earn more for every dollar saved with AmeriQ. Open a new 18-month share certificate at 4% APY. Save more with your credit union. Get started at ameriq.org/save today. APYs are current as of November 4th and are subject to change without notice. Minimum balance to open is $1,000. Fees may reduce earnings. Withdrawals of principal are subject to early penalties. Insured by NCUA. AmeriQ and you. Let's connect.
It's the holidays. You need a new bed, but you've got shopping to do. I get it. This is Kevin Fear, president of Mattress Express. Would a $1,000 prepaid Visa card help out? How about a 75-inch flat screen TV? You're going to get your choice of those two things at Mattress Express when you get a select luxury king or queen set like the number bed by Instant Comfort or Posh and Lavish. Yes, of course, you'll get the flex set option in king or queen. 5 years, no interest, no money down for qualified buyers, and an incredible night's sleep. Don't forget, we also have Purple and Puffy, the big online brands when you come to our store. Come on in, try them all before you buy. We'll pull up their website in store. We'll give you the same price, their same holiday deal that they're giving online, but you get to try it first. It's the holidays. You always get a great deal during the holidays at Mattress Express. Go to mattressexpressny.com or call 1-800-NEW-BEDS.
Hey, Fred F. Collis & Sons, heating and cooling. And right now we're focusing on the heating part as winter is definitely here. Is your equipment old and outdated? It is incredibly important to update your equipment, your boiler, your furnace, your heating system, so that you're ready for this winter. And with these winter prices, you want to make sure it's completely efficient. And you know Collis is there. There's no one any better. They're on standby whenever you need them. If you have a problem, like we did even on New Year's Day last year, they were out, and we had our furnace back up and running within a couple of hours. It's a big deal knowing that there's a company out there you can depend on, and a company that can assist you in putting the perfect system in place that is best for you going forward with these high prices. Reach out to Collis at any time online at fredfcollis.com or call them today, 315-381-8982. The experts in heating, cooling, and insulation, Fred F. Collis & Sons, 315-381-8982.
WIBX 950 and 106.9 FM. This is Keeler.
All righty. Let's go to Congressman-elect Brandon Williams, standing by on the line right now. Brandon, good morning.
Bill, good morning. How are you, sir?
Good. So we've gotten some news. Imagine that right now, the area, from what we're hearing the rumblings of, is working on a potential new tenant coming into Marcy, a new chip fab plant, new technology. And in the middle of all of this, the state announces we're going to pull the nano program from Marcy. What in the hell is going on in Albany?
Yeah. Well, I got two comments for you, Bill. Number one, you can't blame me for anything until January 3rd when I get sworn in. Number two, Albany is a mystery to me. I'm trying to figure out Washington, D.C. But, nano and microchips are not the same thing, right? Nanomaterials are, a lot of these, these graphene type supermaterials that have super conductivity and super strength. And there was a lot of investigation into these, 15 years ago.
Yeah.
And if they're shifting resources from nano to chip fab, I think that's a good thing. but I don't have any details on specifically what you're talking about. Just keep in mind that nano and chip fabrication are two totally separate things.
Well, especially what's coming to the Syracuse area, and this area will benefit from that. But you know what? It's just more baffling decisions coming out of Albany, and that I think is probably what you're going to get when you go to Washington. You've gone through orientation as you prepare to become our next congressman. What have you learned so far? What's your impression?
Well, I'm disoriented. Maybe that's. I'm just kidding. It's first of all, it's a huge honor to be there, Bill. I mean, it is. I don't know how to describe it. It's it's this extraordinary honor to be in the House and to have the opportunity to serve. I can't even express that enough.
Yeah.
But I also tell people, look, I don't feel any different than I did a year ago when, frankly, nobody knew my name. And it's not like winning a football game or scoring a touchdown. I've just been hired to do a job, and it's a very serious job. So I'm learning as quickly as I can how to be effective. Forgive me here, I just got 2 points. One is my mission is to love and serve the people of Central New York. And my second is to be effective as a legislator to turning our country around in D.C. And so that's the lens that we look at everything. And we've got a staff, we've got office. We're going to be ready to go on January 3rd.
Are you worried that we're going to be caught up in? Well, I don't think if you're not worried, I guess you're not paying attention. But I think we're going to be caught up in a lot of partisan politics. Going forward, the House is going to have its mission, and then the Senate will have its. Are you worried that just based on the current climate, nothing will get done?
Well, that's a very good question. Actually, I think nothing getting done is a huge improvement over the Biden agenda.
Mm-hmm.
So, rather than say, nothing gets done, no other destructive policies by the Biden White House will get done. So I consider that a huge win. But I think there are opportunities to solve some problems together. And, I would start with energy myself. I think that all Americans are suffering from, the not only inflation in general, but the component that is energy. And I think that there could be some Democrats that are ready to come back to a common sense energy policy, particularly after the disastrous policies of the last 2 years.
Yeah. And then there's public safety. I think that's a big concern for people. Certainly here in New York was a major concern, which is probably one of the reasons why you got elected.
Yeah, Lee Zeldin ran on that, and Lee helped out everybody. So, every Republican, should say, and and ran on public safety. And so I would attribute, a lot of the success that the GOP had statewide in the Empire State because of Lee's, tireless campaigning and focusing on that issue. On the federal level, Bill, the problem is the border and the amount of drugs and fentanyl in particular that are coming across the border is creating a crisis. It's a law enforcement crisis. And, I guess a month or so ago, we had, 4 deputies in Oneida County that were exposed to fentanyl.
Yeah.
And, that is the border problem in our community. And so at a federal level, I think we've got to address that. And, of course, cashless bail at the state has to be addressed.
I saw in a statement that you released on December 5th, and forgive me, I'm not putting words into your mouth, but as I read this, there was one political name that came to mind, and I think you were kind of making a statement here about where you stand on particular issues. I'm going to read a portion of this back, and then you can clarify. The U.S. Constitution is our founding document. It has differentiated the American experiment from every other government in world history. I'll skip ahead a bit. As a naval officer, I swore an oath to the cornerstone of our republic. I'm honored to again swear allegiance to the Constitution of the United States in January. I will always defend our Constitution and will vote to preserve it regardless of political trends at the time. It's the timeless wisdom upon which our nation is built. This transcends parties, personalities, and political eras, and is a requirement to preserve American freedom. Was that in response to the announcement from former President Trump? Was that a statement in general? What were you trying to convey there?
Yeah, there's two things, and it cuts across both party lines. I think if you look at the Biden administration, for example, wanting to pack the Supreme Court or, proposals to end the filibuster in the Senate, the Democrats, calling for people to protest and even to intimidate members of the Supreme Court, the Democrats have really turned away from honoring our Constitution. And they want to reinterpret it, and they want to use it for the trends of today. And I think that's a tremendous threat to our nation. And then on the other side, I think Mr. Trump is making some very loose comments about the importance of the Constitution, and even suggesting somehow that, that could be set aside or suspended is an opportunity to talk about what's really important and critical to our success as a nation, which is, that Constitution. It's only Abraham Lincoln that suspended habeas corpus during the Civil War, where, real power of the Constitution was not observed, but that was restored, and those were extraordinary circumstances.
Right,
so
right.
I love our Constitution. I believe in it. To the core of my being, I believe in it.
Can I do a little lightning round here with you? Because I have listeners with questions. Sure. This person, where do you stand on Hunter Biden, and where do you stand on January 6th?
Well,
by the way,
with Hunter Biden, two things. One is there's extraordinary evidence that's been suppressed by the FBI, would appear, to look into their family dealings. And those family dealings need to be investigated. But we can't start with he's committed a crime, now let's go investigate. Let's investigate, see what there is there before we make any decisions. So that's going to happen for sure. The second thing, help me out, I got carried away there.
A very interesting line of questioning because they're both on different spectrums. Where do you stand on January 6th?
All right, January 6th. I always tell people, on January 6th, I pulled into a burned dairy, filled up my car with gasoline that cost $2.50 a gallon, and I went in and bought a gallon of milk for $2 a gallon. And that's what I did on January 6th, 2021. And I think people are asking what happened, what happened to our economy. Now, of course, everyone's talking about, the invasion of the Capitol, which is, completely wrong. We cannot allow that. But, people want me to get emotionally charged about it one way or the other. And I tell them, look, I was in the chain of command for the release of nuclear weapons. I'm not a super excitable person, nor would you want me to be in that position. Mm-hmm. So I'm really not going to focus on, those kinds of hot button issues in the past. I'm here to make our republic stronger.
Do you think that? I guess I'll parlay off that question. Do you? Because it does seem like the January 6th Commission is going to be disbanded. Do you think it is important to investigate and find out who's responsible, who did what on that day?
Yeah, that's a good question. It seems like the commission that you're talking about did the investigation in a very, very partisan way. And, if crimes had been committed, then that commission should be referring them to the Department of Justice. And so far, I've seen it almost exclusively used as, a propaganda show trial, quite honestly, is what the J6 Commission really has accomplished. I think releasing all of the video footage from that, kind of like what we see going on in Twitter right now, I think we need to have transparency and visibility into what transpired that day, and including including the evidence that hasn't been released to the public, and so we got to take the politics out of it. It's really not served us well.
Finally, this one is mine. Where do you stand on our policy on Ukraine?
Yeah, well, I think we've done a very good job. Keep in mind that, with American weapons, more than 25,000 Russian soldiers have been killed. And I'm not, I'm not a warmonger, but in all of our war on terrorism, and forgive me if I get this number wrong, but it's in the, 8,000 or 9,000 that have been, American soldiers that have been killed. So Russia has paid an extremely high price for this action, and I think we've stood up to Putin in a very strong way. I do not support giving a blank check to the Ukrainians. I don't think it serves their interests. I hope we move towards a negotiated peace and find a way to walk back, because the potential threat, as we saw with those missiles that landed in Poland a couple of weeks ago, the hair trigger of accusation, potential conflict with a nuclear-armed Russia isn't going to serve anybody well.
Right.
And so, let's have some adults in the room that are finding a way out of this.
Well, I got to say that when this is all said and done, is there a Ukraine left? That country is just going to have to be completely rebuilt. It's just been decimated.
Well, it has been, and we've committed a lot of, tens and tens of billions of dollars to the reconstruction of Ukraine, and it's a terrific tragedy. To other members of Congress that are looking over that, my background as a nuclear engineer, I've offered to be helpful if they're concerned about, the impact to the Ukrainian nuclear plants, to make sure that there's some oversight in terms of what we're doing. I have a little bit of expertise there, not, well, at least for a member of Congress, a little bit unusual. So, I'm looking for ways to contribute so that Ukraine can stand on its feet again. They've done a very noble effort in sacrificing and standing up a volunteer army very quickly to repel the Russians.
And then finally, have you talked to your son about shipping all these jobs overseas? Are you dissuading him from doing this? I'm obviously referring to the Apple stock, Apple stock that your son.
Those 20 shares of Apple stock that he owned, that that resulted in Tim Cook calling him and asking his advice on where to manufacture Macintosh computers. Yes, we've had a very stern talking to him, and he's not going to do that anymore.
All right. Well,
it's the absurd stuff in the campaign. I'm just glad all that's over, really.
Well, I don't know. It'll be interesting to see if the absurd stuff in Washington tops that. I guess we'll find out as time goes on. We wish you the best. Happy holidays, Happy New Year, and good luck.
Merry Christmas. Thank you.
Thanks so much. All right. Brandon Williams, Congressman-elect. Can I keep going? Yes. Mayor Jackie Izzo's been hanging with us. You had a chance to listen to that, Mayor. Your thoughts on Brandon Williams?
Good morning, Bill.
Good morning.
I'm very excited for the Congressman-elect. I've gotten to know him over the last year. I think he's going to do a terrific job. We are hosting him today, as a matter of fact, at the Air Force Research Laboratory. So we're going to be able to have a roundtable discussion with him and the other elected officials in our area. And so he's going to get a tour of the lab and a brief on the mission so that he's able to hit the ground running, and we'll be able to talk to him about our military assets. And when he gets to Washington, he'll have a really good brief of what's happening here and where we are as far as the congressional budget and some of the plus-ups and things that we're looking for in that budget.
Boy,
to support the lab and the other missions.
Doesn't what is happening at SUNY Poly right now show you the importance of making sure that our legislators and people who would play a role in creating the direction and adjusting the direction? It just shows you the importance of how important it is for someone like Brandon Williams to know the importance of Griffiths and everything going on out there?
Well, I'll tell you, Bill, the SUNY Poly decision is extremely disappointing. I can tell all of your listeners that there was an inordinate amount of work that went on behind the scenes with everyone that represents this area, trying to convince the governor and her staff that this was not a great decision, certainly at a time when Wolfspeed has moved into our area. Danfoss is really taking off now, and we're talking to other chip manufacturers, and the reason that they're looking, part of the reason they're looking at that campus is because of the school and the resources that the school provides. So interestingly, though, I was at another event last night, which was at Griffiths, and I had an interesting perspective from someone that's very highly respected in that community of STEM, and he thought this would be an opportunity for us. He didn't think it was such a bad thing that we would break away a little bit from SUNY. So, we've been down this road before. Everyone, we've had setbacks, and somehow we have banded together and come up with a strategy, and we'll do that again.
That's very interesting, and basically, it's the verbiage that has come out of Albany is that SUNY and Marcy will basically reinvent itself, and this person sees that as an opportunity. That's interesting.
Well, we have a tremendous amount of intellectual talent in this area, partly because of the lab and other businesses. So I think, as the dust settles here, I know that the county executive will probably convene a team of people, and we'll talk about this and start to bring in others in the area that are very involved in those industries and see what we can do as far as moving our campus along. We're certainly not going to sit back and just say, oh, woe is us. We will figure this out, and who knows? Maybe we do come out stronger on the other end.
Talk about the announcement at Griffiths yesterday. That was big news.
Yes, so L3 Harris brought in the first C-130 military aircraft to be worked on in the aircraft maintenance facility. Interestingly, though, while we were in there, in the hangar, Strategic Global Aviation also is working on a C-130 from the Bangladesh Air Force, and they are painting some Canadian planes. So there's a lot of activity there right now, and it was very good to see.
From what we understand, this could be just the beginning of many contracts to come at Griffiths. Do you see it? I'm assuming you see it that way.
L3 is competing for a rather large contract, which will be awarded probably in the first quarter of 2023. And I don't think we should discount what Strategic is doing either. That's a startup business. All former military. They have an investor in the business now who I spoke to quite at length yesterday, and he's really committed to growing that business. So hopefully, the two of them together will really do something there in the area of aircraft maintenance and painting that will be a real boom for our area.
We've seen. I believe was it Virgin Air, which at one point planes were being refurbished out of Griffiths for Virgin Airlines, and they were adding really state-of-the-art technology to these planes. One of the better experiences when it comes to technology, if you fly, and that was done in Rome.
Yeah, and I think in the commercial sector, I think the real difference with yesterday's announcement is the move into the military, and not only the United States military, but other foreign governments. If that trend were to continue, I think it would very much solidify this type of business here for a long, long time.
Yeah. One in many of announcements this year. This has been a really big year post-COVID. It has been a big year for Rome.
Oh, definitely. We've been extremely busy. To come to the end of the year and have an announcement like that yesterday is fantastic. We are growing from a job standpoint. Things are going well. The Innovari, I was at the Griffith Institute event last night where they had their annual meeting and laid out their groundwork, their plan for next year. It's just very exciting what's going on there. The number of people that we've had in and where we're going with all of those programs. People don't realize that over the course of a year, the number of researchers, academics, students that we're bringing from all over the country, they're approaching 45 or 4,700 individual engagements there.
Yeah.
They had events where you could have had an event every other day of the year. So that's really taken off. But, in the city, we're also doing Copper City Lofts. The Downtown Revitalization Initiative is really, really doing well. It's going into plan. Those apartments will be open next year. We'll have many bigger projects that will take off. And so we're just keeping our nose to the ground. The national economy is not great, but we are finding areas there where we can attract people still to our area, and that's what we're continuing to do.
I listened to not far to your northwest, I guess it would be, a horrible fire yesterday at the DPW in Camden. Are you guys in a position where the city of Rome can assist? We've got a storm on the way in the next in the next 24 to 48 hours.
Well, we actually sent our excavator yesterday to assist with the debris and anything else that they may need. I just told our GPW supervisors, don't worry about overtime. If they need crews, send them out there. The first thing you have to do is get everything under control and clean up, and then you see where the damage is. As far as helping, we certainly will assist if we can. Snow operations are very difficult because obviously we only have so many plows as well, and we need them all over the city, and we plow the most square mileage of anyone in our county. So we'll do what we can to assist them. But I don't think the prognosis is good because we just got word last week that we are not going to be able to purchase a brand new snowplow truck that we were looking for because the manufacturer has shut down that manufacturing capability for a little while because there's so many back orders and they can't get the parts.
We spoke with Tom over at Utica Mac, and he said that for large Mack trucks next year is already sold out. Everything is already accounted for next year, and they're selling well into 2024.
That's exactly what they told us, and so now we're in line.
Wow.
So I think for Camden, maybe, you never know, in a situation like this, somebody might have an older truck that they were going to retire, and maybe they can loan it over. I think as soon as they make it known what they might need, everybody will look around, and if we have extra equipment, certainly we're going to send it to them.
Yeah. Okay, Mayor. Very interesting. Boy, it's been a busy week, and we look forward to seeing you coming up a week from Friday on the 23rd at the Stanley for our Christmas extravaganza.
I cannot imagine you having that event in a venue that large.
It's going to be scary.
God only knows what you'll do.
Well, listen, I just came to the realization that we can invite more people now. I mean, this is just awesome. All right. Well, listen, we look forward.
Behind the scenes is chaotic anyway, and so for you to be able to fill up an auditorium like that will be interesting.
This is going to be really big. All right, Mayor. We'll see you next week. Thank you so much.
Great. Have a great day. Thank you.
Mayor Jackie is on Rome. We'll break and wrap up this very busy Wednesday morning coming up.
Did you hear about this new gift card? It literally works everywhere.
Everywhere? What do you mean?
Like all the best places. The Taylor and the Cook, Aquavino, Babes.
Whoa, that is a lot.
No, I'm not done. Kookies, Comets tickets, Adirondack Bank Center concessions.
Oh my.
I'm still not done. The Comets and UCFC store, soccer tickets, 72 Tavern.
This one card can do all of that?
Yep, an all-in-one gift card for Utica. And if you buy it now, you get $5 free for every $20 you spend. Get it at uticagiftcard.com.
Happy holidays from all of us at Steve Ponte Ford. Hi, Steve Cater here. Just arrived, we have 12 new 2022 F-150s with 2.9% available for 60 months or 3.9% available for 72 months. The 2.9 for 60 also available on a great selection of Ford Explorer and Ford Escape for a limited time. Shop online at steep-ponteford.com or stop down and see why it's always easy to do business with Steve Ponte Ford, Commercial Drive, Yorkville.
For qualified buyers through Ford Motor Credit.
Truck crash? Choose William Mattar, the largest motor vehicle accident firm in the state. After a crash, an investigation may need to be started immediately, so call now. When you visit WilliamMattar.com, you'll see that motor vehicle accidents are what we do. Truck crash? Call William Mattar, 315-444-4444, South State Street, Syracuse, 315-444-4444.
Mohawk Valley FCU is giving you even more reasons to become a member and save money with their early fuel loan program. If you use alternative heating such as propane, heating fuel, pellets, or wood, then Mohawk Valley FCU has your back. You can receive up to $2,000 subject to credit approval. Stock up now for the upcoming heating season and save with Mohawk Valley FCU. Just one of the many benefits Mohawk Valley FCU has to offer. Visit MohawkValleyFCU.org for more info. Mohawk Valley FCU, member focused, member driven.
WIBX 950 and 106.9 FM. This is Keeler.
Portions of the radio program today brought to you by Adirondack Bank. And listen, if you're looking for a mortgage in 2023, they have you covered. The mortgage of your dream begins at Adirondack Bank. Whether it's your first home or a refinance, they have the product that'll suit your needs. Many different programs. And with 14 locations in the area and their mobile banking app, Adirondack Bank is just a click, a call, or a short drive away. It's Adirondack Bank, a mortgage with Adirondack Bank member FDIC. And also brought to you by Daylight Donuts. The official coffee of the Keeler in the Morning radio program is from Daylight Donuts in New Hartford. Chuck, you know, what a concept, putting coffee in a box where you can bring many, many cups in a box and you bring it to work or wherever you're going. That's coffee in a box from Daylight Donuts, Seattle's best. And think about the snowflake rolls. If you've not put your name on the list, you won't get them for your holiday dinner. Sign up now. They're the most delicious dinner rolls you'll get anywhere. Fresh bagels, fresh donuts every day. The drive-thru is lightning fast. Conversation is great with Chuck Sedella and everybody over there at Daylight Donuts. Anything else you want me to do?
No, extend the show for an hour maybe, and
we might need to. We might need
some of these comments, and I'll just mention to you that
I have comments too. I can get it.
He shared a little comment with me, Davey, and to that I would say, don't let the door hit you where the good Lord split you, because if it does, we're going to need another door. So,
good point. Good point, Jeff. What do you have?
Let's see. Again, Lance here. I'd love to get his source of information. Lance says Rome's DPW staff is down to 8 members. He just said that.
I think there is a problem everywhere right now with people finding people that are willing to work.
Got to figure out what his issue is here, because he goes into some other things. You want me to get into this?
Sure.
And again, I just saw this now. Please ask the mayor, if the area has so much young talent, why does her administration have an average age of 65?
I would not know anything about that.
Yeah, again. So, you want more? Did I already share?
Here's Mike. The whole SUNY thing will look even worse if they end up with another chip facility in Marcy, which is rumored, by the way.
That would be great for us.
Yeah.
Or no? Or are you saying it wouldn't be?
Well, I think it would be the fear is that, that may dissuade a new chip fab manufacturer.
Boy, I hope not.
Also, are you going to YouTube stream the Christmas Eve show? Yes. We'll be live on TV as well from Christmas Eve, 6 a.m. until noon at the Stanley Theater. Pretty excited about that. Any others that you have there?
No.
Okay.
No.
You know, I thought I'd leave you with this story. An airline pilot has revealed something really personal and big. What happens when you're flying on a long flight? What happens to what goes into those restrooms on an airplane?
Oh, really?
Where does it really go when someone flushes? Here is an airline pilot revealing exactly where it all goes when you push the flush button on your average airplane.
When you're on an airplane and you gotta go, where does it go? Did you know whenever you flush the toilet on the aircraft, it actually doesn't dump out into the population down below? It goes through plumbing to the rear of the aircraft in the sealed compartments where the ground crew at the destination will remove all that waste. And on a 747, on a long-haul flight, toilets can be flushed over 1,000 times, creating over 320 gallons of waste. It's a lot.
That's a lot.
I guess that's better than I thought what you were going to say.
I think people have thought that when you flush it, they just let it out. They just let it go, and then it lands somewhere. That would be horrible, right?
Well,
that does not happen.
Can I just say, though, it's been my understanding that, for instance, when an airplane is overloaded and it's trying to land, and this is pretty frequent, that they just release the fuel and it dissipates in the atmosphere. So it never actually reaches the ground. It's not like it's raining gasoline, right? It just dissipates in the air. And I thought that's what you were going to say, that, you know, you go to the bathroom and they just shoot it out.
Yeah.
But by the time it comes down, it's gone, if you will.
Well,
right? You've never said that.
Oh, kids, you ever see a little kid out in a daisy field putting his tongue out trying to catch the raindrops?
No.
Okay, not good. That would not. And on that note, we end the program for this Wednesday. Gotta go. Back here, a busy day, and we figure a busy day tomorrow as well. Back tomorrow.
Hey, it's Dana Cortez, and I'm married to DJ Automatic. When it comes to big life decisions, having options is something I value for our family, especially when it comes to saving money. That's why I love State Farm.
State Farm knows everyone has a budget, and they've got options like insuring your car and your home, getting you great rates on both, or they can help personalize your policy with options so that you can get a surprisingly great rate.
I love that option. Saving money, that's what it's all about, so we bundle our home and our car. So for surprisingly great rates, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Call or go to statefarm.com for a quote today.
Injury crash, 2-door, 4-door, SUV, motorcycle, big truck. At William Mattar, we're New York's largest motor vehicle accident firm, helping those injured in New York State. If a crash caused the death of a loved one, call William Mattar.